going to be
Well,
a fun episode.
hello, everybody. Welcome to Regina and Hollis Crime Chat. Ooh, excuse me. I just ate tacos, y'all. Forgive me. I didn't mean to do that. um, Today with us we have Char. Hey, Char, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing absolutely wonderful.
Excellent.
Yes, it's a beautiful day outside, you guys. It's nice outside today, and I'm in here. Yep, I'm gonna go outside here in a little bit after we're done with the live if it's not dark. Um, Mosquitoes are probably coming around. And how are you doing today, Crystal? How are you?
Oh,
What?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you? I mean, you just kind of told us, didn't you? You're going to go outside and enjoy the sunshine. And Sammy, how are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Today's a beautiful day outside, finally.
Well, you
Yes,
guys are
it
kind of
is.
lucky because it's dreary and cold where I am.
Yes, it is. And we're gonna send you a blanket. We're gonna send you no. We're gonna send you an umbrella and a blanket because it's dreary and cold when you send you an umbrella and blanket. Sorry about that. Couldn't hardly talk right. Um, so I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's already here with us in chat. We got Midwest, hey girl, Low 12. We got, of course, Sammy on panel. Tina, hello, Tina Reddington. How you doing, beautiful? And beautiful Musty Ball. Hello, gorgeous. And Sammy, I see you in chat too, but I can just tell you hello, gorgeous, right here. So
Why, thank you. Hello.
so today we're gonna be covering the Riley Strain case a little bit. Um have you guys heard a little bit about what's going on in the Riley Strain case?
Yeah. The second autopsy?
Yep. Second autopsy, being found with no pants, no boots, um and finding his credit card down by the water. And well, we're gonna get into it. We've got a pathologist and everything interview set up, or a clip set up today with a pathologist talking about Riley Strain's death and how uncommon it is to be found with no shoes or pants. So, hey, Milmac, good to see you. So, we're going to discuss these cases a little bit today. And we're going to start with this one. Oh, yes, this one. Okay. So first we have this.
That they ordered a second autopsy. A friend of Riley Strain's family says that they ordered a second autopsy, which reached the same basic conclusions as Metro's. But he says the Strain family also has questions about the condition of Riley's body when it was pulled from the river. A dock worker spotted the body downriver from downtown Nashville, where Riley was last seen. Police Chief John Drake confirmed the identity.
Mr. Strain still had the shirt on that he was wearing, still had the watch.
But News Channel 5 has learned Riley's body was found without his jeans or cowboy boots. Riley certainly was fully clothed in the security video the night he disappeared. But when he was pulled from the river 2 weeks later, from the waist down, only his boxer shorts and socks remained.
It is unusual. Normally, if you fall in the river, it's very difficult to get your pants off.
Dr. Bill Bass, now retired, is the founder of the University of Tennessee's famed Body Farm and one of the foremost experts on body decomposition in the world. We asked him about the missing pants and boots. Dr. Bass says it's possible, but unlikely they just came off in the river current.
No, they would not come off by themselves.
Dr. Bass says debris could have snagged the clothing or...
I would say that somebody took them off. If you do research on this, which is very difficult because you got to kill a person to do it, but difficult to get your pants off. It's difficult when you laugh to get your pants off.
We did speak with Riley's stepdad, Chris, who says he does not right now want to comment on the Friends interview because the family is preparing for Riley's funeral on Friday. But he did say that they will have, quote, big things to share, unquote, next week.
Okay, so real quick, we're going to go over this news article about Riley Strain. And it says, Riley Strain's pants taken off by someone else before student found in water, says forensic expert. A leading body decomposition expert has said he thinks someone removed the pants of a missing 22-year-old University of Missouri student who was found dead in the Nashville River. The family of the university student who went missing was found dead in a river has called for a second autopsy report, with an expert claiming his trousers were removed by someone else. Riley Strain was found dead in Nashville earlier this month after visiting for a fraternity trip. The 22-year-old disappeared on Friday, March the 8th, after a night out with his friends at country singer Luke Bryan's bar. But what they don't tell you is he was also seen at uh, Garth Brooks' place, the Garth Brooks bar over there too. But he had reportedly been kicked out for being too intoxicated and was spotted on CCTV walking away from the area. The case remains open, and now a leading expert in body decomposition has questioned what happened to the University of Missouri student. Footage after he left the bar showed the young man fully clothed the night he disappeared. However, when he was pulled from the river at fortnight later, he didn't have any pants or boots on, and all he was wearing from the waist down was socks and boxer shorts. The University of Missouri had been at. Okay, they need to edit that. Dr. Bill Bass, founder of the University of Tennessee's Body Farm, said it's unusual. Normally, if you fall in the river, it's very difficult to get your pants off. When asked if Riley's clothes could have come off in the river current, he recommended no, they would not come off by themselves. However, police have since confirmed the body was found when the body was found that Riley had his shirt and Apple Watch still on. Dr. Bass believes some debris could have snagged the clothing. He continued, I would say somebody took them off. If you do research on this, it would be very difficult because you've got to kill a person to do it. But it is difficult to get your pants off. It's difficult when you're alive to get your pants off. Riley's stepdad, Chris Whitfield, told News Channel 5 he didn't want to comment on the second autopsy as the family is focused on his funeral today. And this was the day before yesterday, I do believe, right? His funeral was. I forget which day exactly it was on. However, he said there were big things to share in this coming week as investigators await toxicology reports from the autopsy. And we all know that there was a homeless encampment near where Riley was found, but there had also been cars burglarized in the neighborhood. So we don't know. I'm not going to sit here and speculate that it was someone from the encampment when it could have been anyone in that neighborhood breaking into cars, especially teenage boys that don't care. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
unfortunately, um, unfortunately, the only thing that was found with him, as the police stated in the report, was the watch and his shirt. So his wallet was not recovered with him, and his card was found on the ditch bank. Okay, just keep making a side note of that. As the police stated in the report, was the watch and the shirt. Family friend Chris Dingman told News Nation Elizabeth Vargas reports everything else was not with him when he was found. Dingham added. Join the Mirrors. Okay, so that's the Mirrors report on it. And then we have um, this one, and this one has an audio that I'm going to play with it. So let's pull it up real quick. Right here.
Riley Strain's family requests second autopsy amid new details. The family of Riley Strain, a Mizzou student who seemingly stumbled into a Tennessee river after a night out on the town, has requested a second autopsy after new details emerged regarding his disappearance and death. Strain went missing earlier this month during a trip to Tennessee with his fraternity brothers for spring formal. He was last seen alive on surveillance video the night of March 8th, shortly after getting kicked out of Luke's 32 Bridge, a bar on Broadway. Strain's disappearance sparked a weeks-long search effort, which culminated in the recovery of his body on Friday. A worker for a company based along the Cumberland River was removing litter from the water when he spotted the University of Missouri student and called 911. When he was found, Strain was missing his cowboy boots, pants, and wallet, News Nation reported. A preliminary autopsy report from the Metro Nashville Police Department later determined 22-year-old Strain died of accidental causes after he was booted from Luke Bryan's bar. A toxicology report is also still pending. While authorities do not suspect foul play, his family is a little less sure. The only thing that was found with him, as the police stated in the report, was the watch and the shirt, family friend Chris Dingman told News Nation. The second autopsy focused on more testing on specific things, he added. One thing that threw the family for a loop was the coroner going on record with a news person in Nashville stating about the lack of water in his lungs, Dingman said. Usually, water in the lungs means that they were alive when they went into the water. An investigation into Strain's disappearance and death is ongoing.
Okay, so there's that one, and then there's one more I want to go over real quick before we discuss this case, okay?
All
Let me
right.
pull it up real quick.
Roll that footage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and this is the News Nation's report on it. It says Riley Strain case. Forensic experts say more to be investigated. Riley Strain, 22, was last seen alive March 8th. His body was discovered in Nashville on March 23rd, and he was discovered in the Cumberland River. Investigators say his death appears accidental. Family has more questions.
Dr. Michelle Dupree, a retired forensic pathologist and former medical examiner. And for more on these questions, I want to go to our panel who can help us understand all of this. Dr. Michelle Dupree, a retired forensic pathologist and former medical examiner, and forensic analyst Joseph Scott Morgan, also host of the Body Bags podcast. Thank you both for being here. Dr. Dupree, I want to start with you. There's a lot of questions about the fact that the family was told that there was not water in Riley's lungs. How do you explain that?
Well, there's really two ways to drown, if you will. One is a wet drowning, one is a dry drowning. And in a wet drowning, the person is panicking, they're taking water in. The other situation is when the person is about to drown, they do panic, but their throat basically freezes up. They have what's called a laryngospasm, and that prevents water and air from getting in. So there may not be that much water in the lungs if that is what happened.
Dr. Dupree, if you have a dry drowning and you are doing an autopsy, are you able to see that that happened? Is there something that happens to the throat or something that you can see as a medical examiner?
Typically, no, there isn't. Drowning is a very specific type of death, though, and it is something that we call a diagnosis of exclusion, which means that we have to exclude every other cause of death, and then it can be a drowning. But just because they were found in water doesn't necessarily mean that it was a drowning.
Joseph, I want to know what you think about this new revelation that Riley was not wearing the jeans, so no pants. And that the cowboy boots, he had these size 15 cowboy boots that were also not on him when the body was discovered. However, his shirt was still on him and his Apple Watch was still on him. The family is very, very confused and concerned by that. What do you make of it, Joseph?
Now, I think that probably right out of the gate, one of the things that I would address relative to this is I would be thinking about the speed of the current. I started my career in New Orleans, so I've worked a lot of waterborne deaths, Mississippi River, which is not too dissimilar from the Cumberland, and lake water as well. Many times the current will take shoes off, particularly if you've got slip-on cowboy boots, which he is alleged to have had on. I have a harder time, though, Brian, with the clothing on his lower body, his pants. And in that list that you mentioned, they didn't say anything about a belt. I'd want to know if his pants were belted as well, kind of digging into that, socks on his feet, those sorts of things. I'd like to know the status of those. And of course, it's very provocative when you think about this. Anytime, and I think that Michelle can probably will agree with me on this, anytime that we have someone that is unclad, particularly in the lower body, it's rather provocative when you begin to think about it. And so we take a harder look at those kinds of cases because any number of things can at least be implied. We have to follow that line of logic to its finality. It's troubling to me, however, that the Nashville police said that, that they're no longer investigating this. And their autopsy, I think that one of the commentators stated that just a second ago, that their autopsy had revealed nothing. They being the Nashville police, it's not their autopsy. It is the coroner/medical examiner's autopsy. And to this point, we don't have toxicology yet. So I think they've really jumped the gun on this. I have a problem with this. We need to know what's going on in this young man's system.
Yeah, and the fact again that he had the shirt on, but the pants. And I asked yesterday the family spokesman if he was wearing a belt. They don't know right now. I would assume he was, but we don't know the answer to that question right now. It's interesting, Dr. Dupree, I was talking to another expert earlier who said that bodies without penetrating wounds, I wrote down what he told me, can bloat and make the clothes tighter. And what the police have said so far about Riley is that there were no signs of foul play, no penetrating wounds, nothing like that. So is it possible that the body would have bloated and made it even more difficult for the clothes to come off?
It is, of course, but that depends on when the clothes came off. As was mentioned earlier, my understanding is that the current in this particular river does flow pretty rapidly, and there's all types of debris and obstacles in that river that can jerk off the clothes, tear the clothes, anything like that. So the body is not going to bloat for probably 2 to 3 days. He was in there for around 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so I also want to make a point. We have something in law enforcement called the totality of circumstances. We can't just look at one thing. We need to look at everything surrounding this case. And I do agree. I think maybe we're a little premature in this right now. There's more to be investigated.
It's going to make us watch the full commercial. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Fun.
3, 2, 1, 0. Bada. Oh, and we watched that commercial for nothing. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we did.
Whoop. Oops.
Well,
What happened?
whoops. Okay. So,
Used for 2
let me
weeks.
mute this first of all. And then we're going to continue reading the article.
You're going to read
News
it? Article?
Nation.
Okay. Hold on.
News Nation. A pair of forensic experts say there's more to learn regarding the death of 22-year-old Missouri student Riley Strain, whose body was missing pants, a wallet, and boots when it was discovered last week. Dr. Michelle Dupree, founder of Forensic Consulting Network, and Joseph Scott Morgan, forensic analysis and host of Body Bags podcast, joined Elizabeth Vargas Reports on Thursday to weigh in on the investigation. I think maybe we're a little premature in this right now, Dupree said. There's more to be investigated. Riley Strain timeline, search and discovery. We've already went over that. The University of Missouri student was last seen March 8th during a night out with friends in downtown Nashville. His body was discovered 2 weeks later in the Cumberland River after a massive search effort. On Saturday, March 23rd, the Metro Nashville Police Department confirmed to News Nation affiliate WKRN that Strain's preliminary autopsy had been completed and that his death continued to appear accidental. No foul play related trauma. Strain's family, however, still had unanswered questions that led him led them to seek a second autopsy. We don't have toxicology report, Morgan said. I think we've really jumped the gun on this. We need to know what's going on in this young man's system. All right. So, ladies, I'm opening up the floor. What do y'all
Okay.
think?
I
Oh,
got a
wait,
question.
before I one second before we open up the floor, I just want to give a shout out to Jennifer. Hey, nice to see you. ND317. I'm so glad you joined us again. And we have Jason Jasunki. Always so good to see you. Hello, friend. Oh, and we got Blondie. Hey, Blondie. Good to see you, girl. Y'all, Blondie's awesome. And let's see who else we got here. I think. Oh, and we got Tom Vaughn. That's Miss Kathy's husband, I do believe. Or is it Tina Redmond's husband? I forget. Tom Vaughn's Kathy's husband, right? Yes. Yes, he is. Okay, I got that right. Mars is here. Hey, I mean Marcy. Maurice. Maurice. It's Maurice. I'm going to say it right this time. Maurice. Hey, Maurice. Good to see you, beautiful. So glad you all joined us. So, ladies, we're going to do some call ins here in just a little bit and talk about both these cases we're covering today. And then, you guys, before we leave for the day, I have some very, something I want to talk to y'all about that I'm covering, a case that I'm covering, a 30-year-old missing persons case that I'm I might have stumbled into something and found, anyways, that's besides the point. We'll get to that later. But ladies, you started first, Crystal. What are you thinking?
Well, I have the first question I have is, where are the pants now? Are they in the river? Did somebody take them? You know what I mean? Because they didn't find the pants, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so the miss.
Pants
All
were
right,
not on him.
right. So I'm just curious if they were able to find the pants when they found him. Like, if were they in the river, or have they found them recently? You know what I mean? Like, they're kind of evidence wherever those pants are. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. This
Okay.
is the thing, but this is the thing that kind of gets me about it. Like, if they're in the bottom of the river, will they ever be found? But also, if they're on someone else's feet, will they ever be found?
I think somebody's wearing the pants in the boots.
My husband, my partner is here with me, okay, and he's got all these good thoughts. He's on my, but he said, "What did you say? The pants and the boots would be gone
Well,
if it was somebody took the pants."
if you had nice stuff, why wouldn't somebody? I mean, okay, you mug somebody, you steal the wallet. You don't steal the pants because it takes too long and it's too hard to get them off him. But if he comes for money and he's got really expensive pants on and really expensive boots and a big fat wallet, wouldn't you take it all and then just ditch the body?
That was a little. That was right to the point.
Yeah, that was right to the point.
Now,
Yeah, and actually, if it's okay, I'd like to say something to your husband real quick, Crystal.
oh sure, go ahead.
There's an interview with the homeless man that spoke out that still lives down there on the riverbank, and he said that there was some guys up there, and he was thinking it had to do with Riley. He heard a commotion, someone fell or something like that, and the guy was like, "He's just drunk." Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do y'all suspect that could have been like Riley ending up in the water now? I mean, what
Yeah.
do you think? Don't you think that even makes it more suspicious?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm a fisherman, so before we were doing this, Crystal and I were talking, and I fish a lot. And shoes can come off in the water pretty easy, but I've never had my pants come off me. I've been hooked on things in the current, and my pants actually screw me because I can't get off what I'm stuck on. They don't pull off you. They've never pulled off me, I should say. And I wear jeans with and without a belt.
Are you guys there? You got quiet.
I do know what you mean. I just don't understand how them boots come off and the pants come off. Like,
It don't make no sense.
I think I
mm-mm.
do.
You think you do?
I think I do. I
All
think
right.
that when he fell over the side, he had already had one head injury, may have had another head injury. And whoever yelled out, "Oh, he's just drunk," or whatever. He's passed out at this point. He's non-coherent. And maybe even, we don't even know, but what he was dead. And so they didn't want any signs of their DNA on the body or anything else. So they left the watch alone. At some point, that ID, the debit card, was in his upper pocket of his shirt. It came out during the fall or something. So they carefully took off his boots, not to touch anything else that could leave their DNA, took off his boots, took off his pants, not to leave any DNA or anything, and rolled him in the water. But it had to have been upstream, I believe, in order for him to take the current the way it took him underneath that barge area, or that area over there where he got hung up. So I think somebody, not necessarily a homeless person, but somebody removed his clothing before he went in the water, and he may have already been unalived
Deceased
before he
before he
went
went
in
into
the
the
water.
water.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
one more thing from
But
my
was it found?
angle. He could have had
Uh huh.
a medical event too. So with the toxicology reports out, if something happened, he had a medical event, and then somebody came along and liked his clothes. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, with the toxicology reports, the find there will be interesting.
Oh, Maurice, welcome to the family. Um, I completely agree with you on that, Crystal. Um, what do you think? What do you think the toxicology reports are going to come back if you had to speculate that it's just going to be alcohol, or do you think there are? Do you think maybe he was slipped something? What do you think? Also, is he going to come back with trauma to his head from falling in the parking lot, regardless? And
You would think that they would have commented on that, you
Yes.
know? I mean, I would have thought that they would have at least had some kind of comment about that because it was a big focus for everyone. And the
oh,
pants coming off,
Crystal,
can you imagine? You know how it is when your pants are wet? I mean, seriously, think those came off before he went in.
I do. Yep. And
which is
I think there's a possibility that when the toxicology comes back, may find out that since he was at a bar before he went to the one he was kicked out of, so it could be they felt he was too drunk and tried to give him some water, or somebody could have spiked his drink, and that's the only way we'll find that out is from the toxicology report. That's what I think.
Well, good. Somebody else can't say the word. Thank you, Miss Char.
Well, the Journey to Justice is saying they've known two people who've died from drinking, and he could have choked on his vomit, but wouldn't they add aspiration in there to that autopsy report? Maybe,
A
maybe.
what?
yeah, yeah.
I,
He would
I
have aspirated. Yeah. Go ahead and say it
Before.
again, Sammy, real quick.
So if you do throw up and choke on it, it's called aspiration. you're aspirating, that means you're choking on something that shouldn't be going into your lungs.
Correct.
I just
That
want to
they would
say,
have found that though in the autopsy. They would
yeah,
have
there
saw
would have been
that.
aspiration in his lungs and his stomach, I would assume, if he threw up.
Yeah,
Like he
that's
would have
what I
had
thought.
not only that, but he
Yeah.
probably would have had those burns from the acid that you get on your throat every time stomach acid comes up your throat. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Your esophagus. Yeah.
Yep,
Well,
your
I think that
esophagus
they
and
probably tested for GHB too. I mean, definitely. Because I'm sure if I was Riley's parents, I would want them to test for that. Especially, you know, with him not having pants or boots.
yep, yep.
I
And
think that his drinking and that
Hey
knot on the head
Carolina,
like
good to
that
see you.
was probably.
Sorry, I'm sorry, you guys. I just need to give a shout out real quick to Carolina Moon and everybody for joining us. Light Fawn. Oh, that's a nice name. I like that. The Journey to Justice. Hello, hello. How you doing? Hey, Vamos. Hey, good to see you too. I see Brit, the Green Team fam showing up and showing out. I see y'all. Oh, mods, would y'all please put Brit's link in our chat for me real quick? I greatly appreciate that, by the way. And shout out to our lovely our lovely mods for doing such a good job. You guys, everybody works so hard, and I just appreciate y'all. Hey, Sand Willow. I'm catching up here. Sorry, you guys, I'm a little behind. Oh, y'all are so awesome. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Janet. Good to see you again. Okay, back to what you were saying, Sammy. I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I'm done now. I had to give a shout out to everybody coming in. You said about we were talking about his head injury, Sammy. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I agree with you, Sammy. I think that's a possibility. As much as anything, I agree with you. That's a good possibility that did happen. And somebody could have just come along and taken his pants, boots, and wallet. I mean, I don't know.
They'd
I
have,
agree.
they would
I'm
have
with both of y'all. What would y'all say if I was with both of y'all? What would y'all say if I thought that either he passed out and hit his head and people just stripped him while he was unconscious and he woke up while he was being stripped and maybe struggled and fell into the water and drowned? Or what if he actually was robbed or mugged and just discarded of in the water? But I also think I think that getting that autopsy report and knowing the extent of his head injuries is going to come into play. And I like, I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but I'd like to see the full autopsy results myself because there's certain things like you're going to expect certain things post mortem, but I want to know what was pre mortem. I want to know what happened before he died. I want to see if he had abrasions, scrapes, and stuff before drowning. And we know that he would have them on his face and stuff, but did he have them anywhere else? And I want to see whether he had any bruising or anything um, pre mortem. And I want to know, I know that your mouth, whenever, I know you can dry drown, but usually, even when you dry drown, you swallow water before you dry drown. Like, and I want to know if there was any river water in his stomach. And I want to know if there, well, we already know there's none in his, he has no water in his lungs. You'd think with him being
Right.
drunk, he'd be more relaxed and just breathe. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. He could have had the other reaction, but go ahead, Crystal. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say with the dry drowning, um, he would have a little bit of water in his lungs. There would be for a dry drowning, I believe. No, and it wouldn't be a lot. It would just be a little, but he had none.
They still find suffocation.
Yeah. He had
So,
no water in his lungs. None. And he was in the water for 2 weeks.
Well,
And
maybe.
14 days. He was in the water for, well, I think he was in the water from the time he went missing until the time he was found. I completely agree with that. He
It's
disappeared under that bridge. His card was down there. You guys, that's where it happened. Whatever happened, happened.
one of the reasons that I think that his pants had to have been removed prior to him going in the water. One of the many reasons is because when they closed off that dam, it seems to me you'd have found a pair of black jeans, maybe. Also, as far as the autopsy report, if they didn't suspect any foul play and already knew of him hitting his head, would they necessarily bring, or have we heard the whole first autopsy report? It may have just stated that, he had hit his head. But since they didn't suspect any foul play, they didn't elaborate on it.
Uh-huh.
Is it possible?
It is until we get that second autopsy report back, I think anything's possible.
Yeah,
Um, I agree. I agree with the family. I think that they deserve to know every aspect of it. And if Riley, if there was any foul play, or Riley came to harm before he entered that water, or ended up in the water because of harm, then his family deserves justice, and so does he. So I think this is very worth looking into. I mean, I think it needs every aspect of it needs looked into to verify whether or not there was foul play. What do y'all think?
definitely.
What if they started
Sammy, what do you think?
Well, I thought he was wearing faded jeans, number one. Number two, far as him ending up in that water, I think between all the drinking, God knows how much they drank because they did go to other bars first. And they noticed after giving him that first drink, they had to cut him off. So he had to be you know, pretty loaded. Okay. So that, and then bonking his head. And I don't care how hard or how light that was for any person, the reaction will be different. And I think that knocking his head like he did made him vulnerable to everything, whether it be robbery or passing out, rolling in the river. I mean, who knows? But the pants being off and the boots being off is very questionable for me because I feel like it had to come off before he went in that water for sure. That's as far as I got.
Yeah, and that makes sense. It definitely makes sense.
I
I do
agree.
know, I do know it is possible to get your shoes and your pants drug off of you in the water. But at the same time, he's going to have his shoes and his pants drug off, but he's still going to be wearing his shirt. I mean, and I
Well,
guess, yeah, I could see where the shirt would be harder to get off. But at the same time, like, it was a button up shirt. Like, I don't know.
it's easier for
I
that.
gotta think
You
about
would
it.
think it would be easier if the shirt came off before the jeans. I get what you're saying. And that's the big question for me. I would like to know if anybody has found shoes, pants, or any of those belongings. Because, I mean, we saw that floating mess that was at the dam. Remember the day they were filming and all that garbage that was thrown? It was just swirling at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious if that has been gone through because I mean, where are the
Hey,
pants?
Aussie. Hey, Aussie True Crime. Good to see you, beautiful. Crystal, I'm exactly right there with you. Where are his boot and pants? I mean, they need to dredge, like, personally, honestly, in my opinion, they need to dredge that out anyways because it's awful.
Agreed.
Um,
That's why I thought maybe they did drag it out and wondering if they'd gone through it because it was nasty.
that's disgusting. It is. It's absolutely disgusting. Um, and I I I don't know if they did dredge it out though. Like I know they stopped the dam to burp it to see if he would float up to the surface, and that's when everything else started floating up to the surface.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't think they dredged it out. I think whenever his body surfaced, they quit looking at the dam. So it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't dredge it out. And I think that's important. Like but again, you guys, the one thing that gets me with his pants being off, okay, is his credit card was found on the ground outside his pants, out of his wallet. And now his pants and his boots are missing.
I just think that his card was came out of the pocket of his shirt at some point.
Well, you know what? I thought that too. I gave that a reasonable thought, Char. But whenever Dingman, I think his name is, or Dingman, his the close family friend said Sebastian carried a Michael Kors wallet and he kept everything in his wallet all the time.
Hmm.
So my husband, I know for a fact, whenever it's a habit for a man to pull his wallet out and pay for something,
Yeah,
my husband, he just keeps his wallet out and puts it right back in it whenever he's done.
yeah.
Yeah, same with mine.
But he was drunk, so
And that's true. That is absolutely
But
true.
we also have to look at how he acted whenever he interacted with the cop right before he went missing. I mean, I
oh,
think and not only that, but he was in a neighborhood, you guys, where, and I'm not arguing with you, Char, but I'm just saying things to
oh,
take
I
into
know.
account. Um, Things we have to take into account. He was in a neighborhood where vehicles were being broke into.
Right?
Okay. He was in a dim lit area with very few cameras. There was, in fact, a homeless encampment right there. And I'm not saying it was a homeless person, but people know that the homeless are preyed upon because they are easy targets. As sad as that is, it's true. And there, and the fact that there were cars being broken into tells me there were people down there ripping people off. You know what I'm saying? So I can't help but know that he was acting. No, don't get me wrong. He was acting like he had a good buzz going. But whenever he walked past that cop and was like, "Hey, hey, how's it going?"
Yes, I know that was interesting. And police didn't pick up on the fact that he may have been intoxicated at all, or it was a pleasant, normal hello back and forth. It sounded like to me. I agree, Regina.
Wow, Sand Willow, that is actually a very interesting take. Sam Willow said, um, what if he was taking a pee and his pants ended up falling down? That could actually explain it too. There are so many ways this could have happened, accident or foul play. It will be interesting. Absolutely, Sand Willow.
Yeah,
I agree. That is, you guys, yeah, hmm, I hadn't even really thought about it, but yeah, he could have been taking a pee and fell. Huh.
Entirely plausible.
definitely.
But then again, if he did just was peeing and fell down, how did he get all those feet away from the wall to the water?
He rolled.
Hmm.
Of course, with that much debris that was down there, all those bushes, it would be hard to roll down there, I would imagine, to roll down that hill. Hmm.
Well, right there where his card was found, it was caught up under debris because there are trees and stuff down there.
Yeah,
And it didn't look like anything had rolled down through there.
did it?
Jasunki
Like it would
says
have
that the
seen
water
spackle and
was
snapped off and stuff.
Jasunki says that the water was 10 feet higher that night, so that might make a difference. on how much closer to the water he could have gotten before falling in.
Oh,
That is true. But that still leaves a lot of embankment, though, even with the water being that high, because that's like a good 30, 35 feet of embankment right there where his card was found. And if the water was up 10 feet, there would still be what, 15, 25 feet left? Huh. I don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that there was enough embankment that if he would have fallen, um, he would have landed on the embankment, or do y'all think the water was up high enough that it could have just flooded him? Just it was high enough it could have caught him with all those trees and stuff there to trip down. And I didn't see any broken trees or anything near the water's edge, especially where they found the card.
you're right.
So, like I said, that's what we're discussing it because we don't know. Is it? What do y'all think? Let's put a 1 in chat if you think it's foul play, and put a 2 in chat if you think it's accident all the way.
I think it my hubby says foul play, and I say there's a lot of different possibilities. I think when we get the tox report, we'll know more. But I also think that it needs some more investigation. I think they need to go through the debris that's down there.
I agree. I agree. They need to
Because
go through the debris.
they pretty much know where he went over, don't they?
Yeah, they know where his phone they know where his phone stopped pinging, and they know where he went out of sight, and they
Okay,
know where he was seconds before he vanished.
okay.
So
Mm,
whatever whatever happened, whatever happened, I believe it coincided with his phone stopping pinging. Absolutely. I think that is exactly where he disappeared from.
What about you, Sammy?
Sorry, stepped away for just a second.
I'm sorry. I'm calling you out over.
I am totally completely clueless because all I know is the video we saw, how far he did make it, and then from there, it's anybody's guess in my mind.
Right.
I agree with you, Sammy.
It's a sad case. It really is a sad case. But I did see where they're looking at putting up um a barrier, like a fence down
Oh,
there.
praise
Yeah.
God. Praise
So,
God.
and I have that article somewhere. So I think that's good. If anything good can come from this, it might be another life spared. So,
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. They need to put that up. They needed one before all of this, especially having people that are intoxicated walking back and forth all the time. I mean, this is really, they should have had that. Wouldn't y'all agree?
Yeah,
yeah.
that's been
You
very.
would think so with all those bars out there. Absolutely, some kind of safe way, like a safe walkway should have been created by now.
And I think that would be something that maybe somebody of power could look into, calling it Riley's Walk or something to benefit, because if they do put it up because of this situation, he's saving lives, future lives. So,
Good thought. Definitely.
Maybe they should name it like the Riley Strain Memorial Guardway or something like that.
yeah, that sounds better than what I said.
Mhm.
Definitely. But you know what I mean. I just think that he deserves that. Like, their family deserves that.
Yes, they do. Yes,
But
they do.
I'm just one person. That's just my my thought on it. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for all families that have to go through these kind of things. It's sad, and my heart breaks for all of them.
I will tell you this though. If anybody is trying to push the scenario that something didn't happen to him just because they own businesses in Tennessee right down there by where the river is, um that just that's sad. That's terrible. I mean, if something nefarious did happen to him, you guys, this is how I feel. They need to own up and book up to it, and Riley needs justice. Now, if this was just an accident, then it's still tragic, and I'm glad they're putting the guard railing and stuff up. But at the same time, I feel like it should have already been done, and Riley's family can never get him back. They can never see him again. They can never hug him again. But they can get justice in his death. And even if it does end up being the justice in Riley's death, that there is a guardrail put up. I hope that they do it in his name, and I hope they honor what happened here, because this is a family forever destroyed, you guys. And that's the most important part of this is the families and what they're going through. And I think that they deserve justice in any form that it comes. And I pray for them to get justice in any form that it comes. So, but whatever that may be, I hope the truth comes out, and I pray for truth to come out. So, yeah, that's about all I got to say about that. What do you think?
Well, look here. When they were looking for him, what did they find? Three other bodies first, right? That speaks
Mm-hmm.
to how badly they need it.
Good point.
Yep. And I don't know that the guard railing is going to cut down on crime in that area or do any good if it is foul play, though. I mean, at the same time, there's that. You know what I mean? And in that case, then the city needs to let people know that those streets are dangerous.
Yeah,
They
but if
need to
they
have
do this
warnings before.
properly and they have the right safety features and new camera system in there, that should crack down on some of that.
I agree, Sammy.
I do agree the journey to justice. He was off balance whenever he was running and he fell and he hit his head. But whenever he walked by that cop, he might have been walking a little sideways, but he wasn't walking too far off the path. I mean,
No, he pulled himself together, so he
yeah,
wasn't.
he did.
He knew.
Hmm.
So I think they need to investigate it. I think they need to give it thorough investigation. And I think that they need to share those reports with the family. And I think that the family has every right to do what they're doing and seeking out 100% the answers. If it was my child, I would be doing the same thing. So I'm with the parents all the way. They have every right to know all the way. And if they suspect foul play, then they need that avenue investigated. So I'm with them on this. Speaking of parents, y'all wanna get on over to this y'all wanna get on over to this Sebastian
Sebastian.
Rogers? Yes, Sebastian Rogers case.
Yeah, because I'm anxious for you to take some calls so we can get some opinions of what everybody thinks.
Alrighty then. Well, then we're gonna start off real quick, you guys, with the Dolly Vision, the interview with the dad, real quick. And if my mods wouldn't mind putting Dolly Vision's link up there for me, I would greatly appreciate that. Um, we support all good creators, and I think Dolly did an excellent job with this interview, so I'm gonna support him on this. And this is Dolly Vision's channel, you guys. DOLLYVISION. And he is a YouTube creator, and he also makes soaps and stuff. And Um, he's really, I think he's really trying out here in these YouTube streets. So I'm gonna give him a shout out, and he did a good job in this interview. So, all right.
At
Well,
least somebody does.
Okay, what is going on, Seth?
Just tired,
Okay.
exhausted.
Now, I know you really can't go in this, but I know you had a meeting with the TBI and stuff today, right?
Seems like everybody knew it before I did.
The internet works fast, Seth. Word gets around. These internet streets, it's quick.
I miss dial-up days.
There you go. AOL. I watched a little bit of you and Josh last night. Josh, a good dude.
I saw you in chat, man.
Yeah.
I left your chat, and because you were in your hotel room getting
Yeah.
getting off the internet,
Is it?
and
Let me ask you this: was there anything positive come out of the day?
I found positivity in it.
That's all. That's good. Then that's it. That's what I think. I know you can't go into it too much. So, did how's the searching going?
Do what?
Y'all gonna be searching again tomorrow, 10:30? Is that what you said?
Right now, that's kind of up in the air. I
Uh-huh.
don't know what they're planning on me tomorrow. I'm Roman Catholic, and it's Good Friday.
Oh, okay.
It's time to go commune with the Lord. Maybe He will give me what I need. Maybe He will reach down and bless me.
Definitely. So, if things what you heard today is positive, now if there's, you think it's a possibility somebody could be holding your son against his will?
I look at it like this. I've been on the internet. I've been on the TV.
Uh-huh.
I even been on the radio, which probably most people don't even realize that. But if my son were able to hear me or see me on TV or on the internet, he would know to give me a call.
Okay.
So
So you think he don't have access to that right now?
I don't think he does.
Um,
Because I
have
really
you
think
have you ever
ad.
have you ever known him to watch the news?
No,
Okay, never known him to watch the news. So if he was on the news, he probably wouldn't even know he was on the news then.
correct. I mean, I haven't had cable in probably 9 or 10 years.
Seth, let me ask you this. Now, I know that tonight in the news interview you said, he's probably somewhere playing video games. Do you know if he played these video games online with other people?
Nah,
He didn't, or no, you don't know?
I don't know because it's like at my house, a lot of the games that he was playing were on my account,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of them were solo games like Spider Man and Batman Arkham Knights.
Okay. Yeah, because I play
Yeah,
a lot of gaming myself. Certain games. A lot of, games where you're in lobbies with other people. I play a lot of online gaming.
I do that. I do mobile on my phone, but
Okay. So I mean,
again, he would be sitting there playing video games. When he played on his Switch, he didn't play online with people. He played single player games.
okay. So I'm
So
just wondering how somebody maybe have access to get to your son. If I heard you say today that TBI don't think you're a suspect, they don't think Chris is a suspect, they don't think Katie's a suspect. So there has to be some. If they're not, like the internet is saying, if Katie and Chris don't got nothing to do with this, then there's another answer to what's going on. Or
there'd be another answer.
another answer. Now, do you think would your son know the area? Would he be easily lost? Does he get confused?
If you stay all the time in your house and you're only going from your house to the bus stop, and then you know how to get to where you're going to school, and the rest of the time you're in a vehicle, would you really know how to get anywhere by foot?
I guess if your bubble's small, you're right. You really wouldn't know the area. So if you got outside that bubble, you could get lost.
You get stuck in the woods and you're used to blacktop, you can get lost.
Um, I think a lot of the stuff is, when I hear you say today that they don't think they're a suspect, some of the behavior is strange, like the whole going out of town thing. I think that was a little strange. Because I'd be like you, I'd be out here searching every day. I have one child, I have a daughter, she's 24 years old, and even right now, I'd be out searching. Um,
Well,
it's I think
not
their
everybody
behavior.
is.
I think their behavior, and look, it might just be the way they act and just who they are, makes them seem a little suspect. I ain't saying they
Listen to
did
what
it.
he
I'm
says
just saying it
right
makes them
here.
seem a little suspect.
Makes them don't seem right.
And so I know there's some other locals that are
Hey,
going to be out there
Nina.
searching. There's a few search parties I think that are gathering tomorrow, other than the UNC. There's another group of people that are going to be out there searching for your son. And I hope that more people start to put these search parties together and get out there and find this boy. If he's out there lost, he at this point he has to have some type of assistance, right? Because
Get him, just Sunky.
where would he get food at? Or where would he would need water, he would need food, he would need some type of assistance.
You would. But
And
then again, have you ever been homeless, man?
no, I've never been homeless.
I have.
Yeah, I mean,
Homeless
you think
people.
you think he may be going eating
Good
out of
night, Sand Willow.
dumpsters,
Sweet
begging,
dreams.
like
I
trying to.
Blessings.
don't think you would be that way. I've been homeless before. Homeless people take care of homeless people. And homeless people have that little piece in their heart that where they take care of the kids. They always take care of the kids.
So you think he could possibly be in a homeless, like somewhere
Homeless
with
camps
homeless
and
people?
everything else, man.
Now
I,
look, now I've been out there in the woods in Tennessee, and I've done ran into a couple different homeless encampments out there that looked like people were living in and staying in them woods. So I know
mean,
there's people definitely living in the woods.
and I mean, I've been out there. I've looked for them. I take a picture of my son. When my parents came here the first week, that's the first thing they did. They hit the homeless encampments there in Hendersonville with pictures of my son.
Uh-huh. And anything come of that? The homeless, I'm sure them homeless people ain't gonna tell you much anyway.
Well, if a child's saying that he's running in fear or something, homeless people protect them.
Okay. What do you make of the footprints at the retention pond? Do you think there is something to him, or you think that's just a busy area, or what do you think?
Honestly, I don't know.
You don't know?
I only knew about those literally just because I listened to that call.
Oh, to the dispatch call.
Yep.
Yeah, I was listening to that, and it sounds like he was running, but I heard you say he could swim.
Yep.
You guys, I just want to give a shout out real quick to Low 12. Low 12, that is too kind of you, girlfriend. Everybody put a round of applause in the chat for Low 12, and congratulations to everyone who was gifted memberships, you guys. Welcome to the Crime Chatters team.
Thank you, Lo.
Lo, you are so amazing. Thank you. I Girl, I can't even thank you enough for everything everyone does with our channel and supports us and helps us. You guys, I can never convey the words to tell you how much I appreciate it. It's just thank you. Thank you, Low 12. Thank you. Oh, okay. Sorry, you guys. I just had to give her a shout out. That's amazing, Low. Thank you.
Yep.
And that I went to that retention pond, and it ain't very deep. It ain't like he could drown in that. But I wonder why there's no trail from there. That's it just ends there. And here, you live down there. Does the trash run that early in the morning for them lights to be a trash truck?
Trash ran at 5 o'clock in the morning. The reason it at 311 is because the guy's DVR recorder is stuck at 311.
Oh, okay. So
I
he
watched
actually.
that whole thing, and they showed me 10 minutes of it, dude. And the timer still was at 311 when it started, and 311 when it finished.
Okay, so the video was actually at another time, and it wasn't 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I understand now. Okay, so he did tip the truck earlier that morning.
Yeah. It's just the fact that their timer on the DVR was broke.
Have you been in communication with Chris and Katie?
They called me today.
Are y'all kind of patching up the relationship? I know they were a little mad at you about the GoFund stuff, and I've heard that everything. So, are y'all working that out? They got to understand that you're out there searching for the boy, and that
Hey
you're going to
Tracy, good
need
to
help.
see you, beautiful.
They got to understand that. To be mad at you or anything like that. They need Chris should be out there beside you helping you, is what I believe. They shouldn't be mad at you. That's a hard one. That's a family thing. I don't know it. And if it's true that they're not suspects and they don't got nothing to do with this, I hope your family can work this out and that Sebastian's found safely. And maybe it is just a upset with the stepdad and he's took off, and he's okay. It would make more.
Did y'all see that look he just gave Ollie?
Rewind a little, please.
I hope your family can work this out and that Sebastian's found safely. And maybe it is just a upset with the stepdad and he's took off, and he's okay. It would make more sense than them hurting him for no reason.
Things just don't make sense with this.
Did you see that eyebrow on his face? The way he looked at Dolly when Dolly said that?
Now, I don't know the reason that the CPS was called at the house. I just didn't know that. I heard you say that you found out later that they didn't tell you anything, that there was any reason
that podcast aired, man.
That the CPS had came to the house over, I guess, him going to school saying that his stepdad hit him with a belt.
I guess. Because, I mean, I didn't know about it until he said it in the podcast.
Let me ask you this, and this is an important question for a dad. Have y'all ever discussed the discipline of your child? Have you ever discussed it with Chris? Because I can tell you, look, my baby mama, I told her boyfriend, I said, you ever put your hands on my kid, I'm going to prison. I'm going to come out there and I'm going to do some bad shit to you. You know what I mean? That's what I told him. That's exactly what I told him. But luckily, he was a good dude. He never put his hands on my daughter or anything. But I let him know right off the rip, don't discipline my child. If you need my child disciplined, you call me. I will discipline my child. Had y'all ever discussed anything like that?
Supposed to be no corporal discipline.
So he wasn't supposed to touch your son whatsoever. Yeah, see, that's how I am. I mean, it's just one of those man laws.
And that is something I want to get into a little bit more, especially with the next one we're gonna watch. I'm fixing to speed this up a little bit, to 1.25 time. But just pay attention. Just pay attention to that part.
I try to, because most of my viewers are women. They don't quite get man law, so I try to explain them. I was like, you just don't put your hands on another person's kid, especially when you're in the picture and you're an active father. And I don't.
What I was going to say is, I think CPS dropped the ball with Sebastian, and you'll see why in the next interview.
No, if if it's the case he's ran off, he's gonna turn up. You know, if he's I've listened to you say, because when you hear Chris and them talk about him and the mom talking about him, like, you know, he uses the bathroom on himself. He's function. They make him sound like he's not as functional as you make him sound. You make him sound like he's normal kid, everything's okay, and they make it sound like a little bit different story.
Dolly's got a very good point about that, you guys.
He does, because
There
didn't they
is
put him in
not to play.
diapers? Didn't they have?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it was a punishment from what I understood.
That's horrible.
Word salad.
That horrible.
Hmm.
Mentally horrible.
Yep, I
Oh,
agree.
There are three parts to every story. There's my part, their part, and the truth.
And the truth, yeah.
All right. Now,
Yeah, but I hope you're telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to be telling the truth. So I hope the truth is with you.
first of all, I don't got shit to fucking hide.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, but at the same point in time, I don't talk a lot of shit. I don't like I'm not the monkey at the zoo. I'm not throwing shit. All
Yeah.
right. I will not defend people that dig their own fucking grave. You know, when you
Mhm.
guys are talking about their behavior makes them look suspect, it's probably because they want you to. That's their behavior.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
they
Let's
want
play that.
you. That's their behavior.
He started to say they want you to believe. That's what I really think that's what he started to say, and had to catch himself. Like, wow. Let me play that again.
I will not defend people that dig their own fucking grave. You know, when you
Mhm.
guys are talking about their behavior makes them look suspect, it's probably because they want you to. That's their behavior. I
Yeah.
don't. I ain't their parents.
Yeah.
I raised my son.
Yeah.
That's why this doesn't make sense to me. Was there supposed to be child support? No. Were we going back to court? No. Our decree says that we can change it the way we want.
Did y'all hear that? There was no child support involved.
Mhm.
Okay.
To that we both agree
What
to.
about
So
life
they
insurance?
wouldn't have had a there was no real reason for them to,
He
because
had
some people be like, well, she
money.
I don't know about life insurance yet, but I do know that life insurance will hold funds until he is declared dead.
Right. I
I
was just
think
curious.
I think I heard some.
I
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, you go ahead.
I heard. I believe I heard somewhere that the father had taken out life insurance on him, but that's just a rumor.
I have life insurance on my kids.
Yeah.
Well, I know they offer that when they like start school nowadays. So I was just curious. It was just
I've
a
had Gerber
question.
life insurance since my kids were born on my kids. My brother lost his daughter, and it was such a struggle for us to everybody come up with the money to bury his daughter because she didn't have life insurance like that weighed with me. So whenever my kids were born, I got them life insurance to bury them if ever need be. But that's all it
I
is. Is that
do believe that I heard Katie mention that she's pointing the finger saying Seth has life insurance on the child.
Yeah. That's why I heard it.
so y'all think Seth would do this for life insurance?
No.
That's not what I was getting at. I was just asking, like, because I know in
I don't
schools
think
they do send
like
that paperwork home.
you
So I
guys.
did.
No.
I mean, my kids' life insurance though, as soon as they're 21, it turns into a fund like they can collect money off of. So I don't know. I don't think. Oh, Kathy. Everyone give Kathy a round of applause in chat. Thank you so much, Kathy. And welcome to the new members. Oh,
Thank you, Kathy.
you guys are too kind. You really are. You're too kind. Thank you, Kathy. Oh, welcome to all the welcome to all the new members. Um, you guys, welcome to the Crime Chatter team.
Hollis should be here soon.
Yay! If
I
y'all
know.
were, yeah, it's about time, right? You said 6 o'clock. This is way later than 6 o'clock. um, I love Hollis. Um, where I forgot what I was gonna say now.
Well, I know we had
Oh,
discussions on the life insurance and stuff.
yes. Now the thing is with life insurance, though, I don't see how anyone would make him disappear for life insurance money because they wouldn't be able to collect on it for a really long time.
Well, it
Like they
doesn't
would
even
have
pay
to.
all that much. I mean, considering the costs of burying someone, it doesn't really pay all that much. I don't care what you're paying. You got to read your terms because sometimes that child has to grow to age 65 for it to be a full amount of money that you're going to collect like 100,000. So, I mean, it just all depends what kind of policy, if there is one. And it doesn't really always pay all that much.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. Well, not only that, but the person has to be declared deceased before life insurance policy will pay out. So for him to come up missing, nobody's going to get that money for at least 7 years because it takes like 7 years of somebody missing to get them declared dead or deceased, rather.
Well, I'm still hoping that he's hiding somewhere and
Me
they'll find
too.
him. Like in an attic or somewhere, somebody's attic. I mean, he could be
Yep.
in someone's attic hiding because, he's like confused. Maybe he thinks he's going to be in trouble. I mean, there's a
But for
lot
a
of,
month, but for a month with nobody knowing, he's got to eat.
I know. Well, maybe he's sneaking down and getting food.
I
I'm
agree.
just,
Maybe.
I'm,
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Crystal. And I'm holding out hope too. I really am that maybe he's out here and maybe like Seth gets into here in just a little bit in this interview, maybe some homeless people, they do try to help each other and maybe they did kind of take him under their wing and maybe he is in some way being taken care of out here. You know what I mean? Like
I,
I hold on to hope for that. Kel, thank you so much. You guys are too amazing, y'all.
thank you,
Oh,
Coco. You
thank
guys,
you.
they really are amazing.
They really are. I mean, y'all have no idea, but we have the best group of mods on YouTube in here. I mean, hands down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know y'all probably got mods too, other creators and stuff, but mine are the best, hands down. Just,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just,
I
We
agree.
we
but
should go back to this video because we want to take phone calls too. Sorry.
yes, yes. Let's get back to this video real quick, and I put it on time and a quarter, so it'll shorten up a little
He
bit.
was scared she was going to pay child support, but y'all had an agreement with y'all child that y'all would take care of whatever between that needed to be taken care of. So there was never no child support. Me and my baby's mother, we made the same agreement you made. We made the exact same agreement. If my daughter needs something, I will take care of it. Right.
Yeah, right. You know how
So
many times Katie's called me up? Hey, he needs a new pair of glasses. Okay, well, tell me how much it is. I'll transfer the money.
exactly. That's exactly what I do with my babies. When she never took me to court for child support, we were co-parented separately and everything worked out perfectly fine. There was no, like if she would have took my daughter, like she had custody. Like if I would have took her, I wouldn't have took her to court for child support either. So there's really no, no reason for her to hurt her child. A lot of people I do believe think Katie may have hurt your child. And to do that, there would have to be some reasoning for it. And I just haven't seen any of that.
So I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Even I was getting what I wanted since the divorce, anyways. I was okay with, joint legal, joint physical, but I was getting what I wanted.
Yeah. And now he was get ready to come stay with you for the summer, right?
I already have him enrolled in school here.
From your address?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
He
is
was
it?
going to come live the summer with me, but he was going to start going to school up here at the end of summer.
Oh, okay. So he was going to start living with you full time. Now that's
That
what
is,
I've heard. That's what was rumored to me in the beginning, that that he was coming there and then that he was going to be living with you.
yes. I was going to take him for the summer.
Now, how long had that been playing? Like, how long, when y'all discussed that with Kate, like, how long you go, okay, I'm going to take him this summer, then he's going to live with me and go to school? Had y'all planned that? Have y'all discussed that? Huh?
Since last year.
So this ain't something that just popped up, or so this has been planned that he was going to come stay with you. Okay. That makes a little more sense. So there's no reason in there for her to be like, oh, he's going to take the kid. I've heard a lot, I'm sure this, you watching this, and there's
I've read a lot, and some of them I find them hilarious, like the gentleman that called in.
the snake.
The snake ate the boy.
The snake ate the boy. Dingo's got my baby. Look, I know it's hard as a parent to definitely hear the crazy stuff on the internet, right? Just theories and speculation. I do it. I say things like, I think this happened. I think this happens. I think it's human nature to be curious. Curiosity killed the cat. And there's a lot of curious. But some of the stories for me, like some of the theories are so far out there, even for me, that I'm like, okay, okay, that's a little much. That's a little much.
I'll just say that I'm missing aluminum foil and tinfoil at my house because somebody's wearing it as a hat somewhere.
Well, listen, I've seen parents of missing kids wearing aluminum tinfoil hats. And matter of fact, parents of missing kids in Tennessee wearing aluminum tinfoil hats on live streams. Okay. I'll send you a picture if you don't believe me.
Oh, I believe.
Yes, I've seen it. I've seen a lot.
I spent 9 years in California, and then I moved back here to the United States. And I'll tell you right now that I've seen them both.
Now, I've heard you say you're innocent to proven guilty. You work in corrections, right? And I've heard you say you're not there to judge people, right? And I've noticed a lot of this is you don't do that. You don't get on the news and you don't talk bad about people. You try to stay neutral, It ain't no reason really to ruffle a bunch of feathers, like talking shit about people that you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life anyway. That's the mother of your baby. Her old man's a little, I think he's like, he overtalks her a lot. I think he seems controlling.
I've heard that.
I don't know the guy, but he looks a little angry. He seems controlling. And when they ask her questions, he answers the question. Like he don't give her a chance to speak. And that's what I think is making people go, so this dude ain't, he's been married 5 times. Okay. I mean, how many times?
I've been married once.
Once?
I learned.
So I think maybe if it didn't work out in 5 times, it might not be in you might not be the best dude if
No, 5 times, maybe, I would say if I was looking out from the outside, I would tell the person, if you've been married so many times and it's not working, it can't be the person that you're with. It's the person in the mirror.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes it's hardest to see your flaws. Like me, I'm sure I got plenty of flaws, but it's hard for me to see my own flaws, but other people can see them,
I know flaws.
Yeah, I know some of mine. I don't want to bring them up right now.
My heart is critic. So it's like, I know my flaws. I don't know all of them, but I know the majority of them.
So when they tried to call you today, did you speak with them?
I did.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. When you went and met with the TBI today, was Katie and Chris with you? Can you answer that?
Katie was there.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I ain't gonna make you get you into something, that you ain't supposed to speak on.
If I answer something that I'm not supposed to answer, I'll know.
Okay. All right. So you said
I'll be in trouble later.
Yeah. So you say today was hopeful, which is a good thing. Okay. I won't go into what they did. Let me ask you this. They show you a video?
Yeah.
Okay. Did that video contain your son?
Yes.
Okay. Was that video from somewhere outside that house?
Yes.
That means your son's out there.
They showed me a video that I have been asking for from the very beginning. I wanted to see a video of my son after I spoke to him Thursday and before he disappeared on Monday.
Okay, so this video of your son is from after the time he went missing?
No, it was before.
It was before. Was it the video from the restaurant?
Yep.
I knew it was that video from the restaurant. I went to that restaurant the other night, Seth. I had chicken. And I also spoke to the people there.
Had chicken?
Huh?
You went to a steakhouse and had chicken?
I had chicken. Yeah, I had chicken. And a loaded baked potato and broccoli. I always go to the steakhouse and get chicken. I don't know why. I do it at Outback too.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you can't go to Chick-fil-A and get a hamburger.
Yeah, I know. So I went to the restaurant. I spoke to the waitresses and stuff at the restaurant because that's what I do. I sleuth around and try to look for answers or clues or different things. So the video from the rest. So there's nothing from the point that you haven't seen anything from the point he's went missing, just
No.
prior to it. So they showed you a little prior. Did everything seem happy in the video? Everything seemed good. Okay. All right. Well, that's good. But let me think. I want to dig into a hole here.
It's because you're not asking the right question.
Yeah. Okay. What do the police believe happened? What did they tell him? Did they ever hit you with anything? Did they just keeping? You can't answer that one, huh?
Didn't tell me nothing.
They didn't tell you nothing.
They're not going to tell me anything on the investigation.
Well, why show you the video?
Because I'd asked.
You would ask for the video. So, but
I asked. I said I need to see proof of life
before. Okay, because you wanted to know he was alive before he went missing.
I wanted to make sure he was okay beforehand.
Okay.
And they showed it to me. I asked for it.
And he was okay, and everything was good with him, normal.
Yeah.
And you said he wouldn't.
Still not asking the right question.
Okay, well, tell me what the right question is there, Seth. What do you got? What do you know, Seth, that we don't know? Can you tell us what you know?
I'll tell you, I had 2 more meetings today afterwards.
You got say that one more time.
I had 2 more meetings afterwards.
After you seen the video.
I had 2 more meetings afterwards. I had meetings planned all day today.
With TBI, law enforcement. Okay, you met with somebody else.
Yeah.
Is
you
it the
know
FBI?
why I'm happy? Huh?
Is it the FBI?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah. Why you happy?
More information that I didn't have before.
Oh, all right. Let's get it. Let's get it, Seth.
There's more information.
Okay.
Now, see, I already told them I'm running my
Can
own
you hear me?
Uh-huh.
I don't want to intrude upon their own.
Okay.
Yes.
As well.
Do you think that? Okay, this is a question from Huntress. Does he
What,
think that they will
Sammy?
wrap up soon and his baby will be found? She asked that question from the chat.
Oh, that's beyond a doubt. That's an everyday when I wake up.
Okay.
All right, that's being hopeful and knowing that the answer's out there and I'm gonna find it.
Now, are the police being like reassuring that they're gonna figure this out to you?
Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
Okay. Have you spoke with the FBI?
Yep.
Okay. Now, one of my things is this. Them houses out there in that neighborhood are really, really nice houses. Most of them have security systems, cameras. Why is he not on any of those cameras?
Don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know. Like, but then again, if I lived in a house that cost $688,000, I damn well have a fucking security system on it too.
Yeah, and I mean, most of them houses out there or up there in that range, they start at 500,000. They're living a lot better than me. I noticed there was a lot of cameras out there.
Law enforcement, they're making a lot more than I am. Okay.
Yeah. I said the same thing when I said it. I was like, they're making a lot more than I am.
Keep going the way they're going, I might turn around and have to go start flipping. Flipping burgers for $22 an hour.
So how is everything with your work? Did they understand what's going on?
I asked for a leave of absence when I.
Hey, Hollis.
Hey guys, I'm just joining in. I just want to listen with you.
Glad you're here. Glad you made it. We're
Me
missing you,
too.
girl.
Hello.
Hey girls.
Hey, Hollis.
Hi Shar. Hey Sammy. Hey, what is true?
Hi.
All right, we're watching the Dolly Dolly Vision interview with Seth Rogers right now. Sebastian's dad. Just give you a heads up. Okay.
Ask for the absence. They know that I'm looking for my son.
Okay, so they're not giving you a hard time at work. So when you decide to go back to work, everything's gonna be good with you.
I'm hoping. I haven't heard from them.
Okay. Let me think. Anything else? Okay, so you met with you had a couple more meetings today, other than with the TBI. You gained more information. And we learned that the trash truck, that was just a trash truck. It wasn't flashlights.
Correct.
The shoe thing. Now I've heard you say this.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he stepped in the ant pile, the fire ants. I'm from Georgia. I know about them fire ants. They'll light your ass up, boy. I mean, like cigarette burns. They got me good. I fell as a kid. I fell into one riding a bike.
I thought of it as a cigarette burn because I've never been burnt by a cigarette, but I've been burnt by a match head before, and that's what fire ants remind me of.
Yeah, it reminds me of a cigarette burn. It'll blister up. It hurts. Matter of fact, my yard, we got some fire ants in my yard that'll get your ass. I got the biggest ants you ever seen. They did the biggest ants I've ever seen in my life. They'll be at my house. They are huge ass ants.
Or velveteen ants.
These look like monster ass ants.
Red and black and about big.
So you don't think he had never ran off before? If he was to say, "Hey, I'm upset with my stepdad. I want to get out of here," why wouldn't he take any shoes? And why, when everybody asked her that, Chris overspeaks her?
I don't know.
So certain. Like, how does he know he took the flashlight?
Don't know again.
Or are they just missing a flashlight?
Huh?
I mean, are they missing the flash? I mean, I guess they're missing a flashlight. That's what makes them think they took a flashlight. Because if she was in bed when he left, how does she know he had the flashlight?
I would say that she's saying that because they can't find it.
Yeah, I would think so too. And I'm sure, being the mother, she knows what shoes he has, and all them shoes are accounted for.
Yep, shoes go off at the front door at her house just like they go off at the front door at mine.
Okay. It just seems a little odd that he would leave like that with no shoes on and have never done that before.
Yeah, kind of weird.
Does he ever have any episodes?
What do you mean by episodes?
Like maybe where he don't know what's going on, gets confused?
He hasn't had any of those type of seizures in years.
Okay. Okay. So when he was young, he would have these type of medical, but as he got older, he grew out. He outgrew them.
Yeah.
Okay. And the condition, I heard you say something that has one side, he didn't want to play in football or baseball or anywhere he could get hit because he had like some water on his brain or something, a pocket on one side of his.
He had a pocket of fluid on the right bilateral part of his brain. Yes, I believe my son is alive.
So he couldn't really take a blow to the head or nothing. If he fell.
Hey, I have a phone call coming in.
Okay, Seth, I'll let you go. I appreciate you coming up here and share with us. Okay.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, Seth. You be good.
Welcome to the family, Tom. Whoopsie. All right. And this next interview is only 9 minutes. And then after we go over this one, I wanted to talk about both of them for a minute.
Do you have dispatch too?
No, I do not. Do you have a link for that one? And I can pull it up after I do this one.
I will look.
Thank you, beautiful.
How are you feeling today?
And this is
same as I was yesterday.
This is Seth Rogers. This is Sebastian's biological father.
Continue looking.
Again.
I'm not gonna give up. Nobody can make me give up.
And where have you been searching? Where do you think he is?
I've been searching everywhere. I mean, anything out of that 5 mile radius that the initial search did, they covered everything there. But there's stuff elsewhere. I mean, we got a lot of territory to cover. And it being over a month, he could be anywhere currently. So I'm searching everywhere.
You, Katie, and Chris had a meeting with TBI today. Did you find out any new information?
Not that I can discuss.
Any progression that might show hope in this search?
Oh, I always have hope. Can't take that away from me.
And how confident are you that Sebastian is alive, and what do you think he's doing right now?
Pretty sure he's probably playing video games somewhere. Nobody's letting him, whoever's got him, they're not letting him see the regular news. They're not letting him surf the internet. Or else he'd know that I'm looking for him. And he'd know that he should actually be trying to get a hold of me. And that keeps me going.
Is there strong reason to believe he may have been
I want to pause that for a second right there. Do you know what Chris? Do y'all know what Seth just said to us, you guys? He said Sebastian would get a hold of me. He would know
Yeah,
he needs to get a hold of me. Like he's
but
saying, me
how?
and my son, yeah.
Would he call him? Would he know the phone number? Would he know how to email? That's, you know what I mean?
I think Sebastian would. My son knows our phone number. He knows my husband's phone number. He knows his dad's phone number. I mean,
It's just unfortunate we don't know. Like, no one is telling us. You know what I mean? Like, I would have liked to have known if I was a reporter. I would have said, well, would he know how to get a hold of you? You know what I mean?
right on. I get what you're saying, and I agree with that. Like, what would be the means of communication he could get a hold of you? I see what you're
Right.
saying. Right.
abducted?
I don't know if he's been abducted or if he's just, over at a friend's house. Never know. But I'll know when I find him. I'll know exactly what has happened to him.
And other news outlets were reporting that there were lights seen in the backyard that were caught on camera by a neighbor's video. Is that true?
No. What that was a trash truck. Went through, picked up trash, and when it left, of course it went faster. It didn't have to stop to pick up trash. That's just false information provided by a particular person.
Did the dogs ever pick up a scent for Sebastian?
From my information that I've been given, no.
Did they find anything on Sebastian's cell phone that would, kind of show that he was going to run away or where he might be?
Not that I know of. He didn't have any internet access or anything on there. He'd have been able to call, text, take a picture, send a picture, use the calculator. That's about it.
Was Sebastian in school on Friday, the day before he went missing?
Yes,
ma'am. Are you, Chris, or Katie, or any of you suspects in this case?
No, we're not.
Have you been cleared?
I don't know if the investigation is still ongoing. We wouldn't be cleared until the investigation is done. But currently, from my understanding, they don't have any information that would attach us to any wrongdoing.
CPS has gone to Katie's house before. You didn't know about that until this investigation. How does that make you feel?
That somebody somewhere dropped the ball because I was never informed. And I'm the biological father. I have joint physical custody. Somebody dropped the ball and didn't reach out and inform the father, which is me. And I don't understand why the state dropped the ball on that one.
And how did you find out about CPS?
Podcast.
And I mean, does that concern you, especially with this case, that they might have done something to cause him to run away?
I don't know what that really means, but I just know that I don't have all the information.
Is there an official timeline? And I know people, there was, we went to bed at this hour, but does TBI or anyone have an official timeline as to the series?
I'm pretty sure they do, but I'm not involved in the investigation, so I wouldn't have it.
Have the three of you been in contact every day like you were several weeks ago about this?
I'm in contact with both Katie and Chris today, but I've heard he said his phone is open and available, so is mine. You can leave a voicemail. Like 7 or 8 people have already left me voicemails today. I'm going. I get people calling me while I'm on the phone, and it's like, I can't just sit there and answer the phone for everybody. If I did that, I probably wouldn't be able to get out of my house.
There's been a lot of criticism over this investigation. I'm sure you've received criticism as well as the Proudfoot. How does that make you feel in a time where you're just trying to find your son?
People are being, that goes back to those keyboard warriors I talked about on the first interview that you and I had. They're still at it. They'll never stop. There's cowards in this world, and then there's people who are go-getters. My feet, they're on the ground. They're never going to leave the ground. I'm going to find my son. Period.
And plans, today on moving forward, anything, any more resources being used on this investigation, or anything you have to say about that?
The United Cajun Navy is currently sitting down there right now at 90 Volunteer Drive in Hendersonville. 10:30. That's when volunteers need to show up. 10:30. Show up, have your ID, sign the paperwork, and they send people out in teams. When you show up, there ain't nobody there except for a couple people. That's because they've already sent teams out. They're just going to keep sending teams out until we find my son.
Have there been a lot of volunteers coming out to help find Sebastian?
Today there was, and I want to thank everybody who did come out. We're seeing an increase, and we're going to continue to see an increase. I'd like the whole state of Tennessee to volunteer, and then we'll hit other states.
And you're Sebastian's father. Tell me, what is Sebastian like?
He's a unique child. All right. I mean, it's really hard to describe my son. I mean, besides being unique, whether he's up to no good or he's up to good, he's just got that uniqueness about him. It's really hard to describe. I mean, he's my mini me. If he has a goal, he's going to accomplish that goal. People at school, they liked him. All the kids are wanting to know when he's going to come back. They want to help and volunteer. Teachers are they're putting out prayers every day. Everybody, it's coming up. It's Easter. I'm hoping for an Easter miracle. I can definitely use it in my life right now.
And why did they search the landfill?
I have no idea. They didn't. Not part of the investigation. They're not going to tell me stuff. I am emotionally attached, as any parent should be.
And how often do you meet with TBI?
If I call them all the time. Call, text, hey, any new news? They either let me know or they let me know.
Are you happy with the work that all these agencies have done, or do you think there needs to be more?
There could probably always be more. We just got to figure out what more is necessary. Am I happy with them? I'm not unhappy. But you asked me that after my son's back, and it's going to be, I'm happy. All right? Because in law enforcement, it's always goal oriented. Go to work, put a smile on your face, get the job done. I know that they're putting their effort, 150% effort into this, and I appreciate that. And I'm hoping it will pay off with fruition.
Do you think Katie and Chris are suspects?
I have no idea.
Sebastian's been missing for more than a month now. What keeps you getting up every morning, going out and searching for him?
Thank you, Lo.
Having perseverance.
Thank you, Lolo. You know what? You're too sweet, girlfriend.
Wanting to watch him finish growing up.
Do you wear this every day? Talk to me.
Wanting to watch him finish growing up.
Morning, going out and searching for him.
Being a dad. Having perseverance. Wanting him to come home. Wanting to watch him finish growing up.
Do you wear this every day? Talk to me about this shirt.
This right here is my own billboard to find my son. People notice people. People notice what people are wearing. So I am a walking handout. I have these in my car.
How do you select that photo? It's so cute.
Because it's cute. It's got a smile. It's the last picture I took of him.
So,
Oh my goodness.
did you catch that? He actually, at one point, said that. So, I have another question now. He said he was able to call and text, but he had no internet access. So, he had like the calculator. He could take a picture and send a picture. Now, does he have a phone? And if so, have they located the phone? Is the phone in the house? You know what I mean? And
I know
then,
exactly what you mean. I don't know.
because I hadn't thought of, yeah, I mean, he's 15. He probably does have a phone. And if he knows how to text, call, take pictures, snap a picture, he's already doing better than I am with my phone. So, where is the phone?
Where is the phone? That's a very good question. Did he have a phone? And if so, where is the phone? That's a very good question. What is true? That's an excellent question. Okay. So one more thing I wanted to go through before we open up the phone lines, you guys, is this dispatch call, if that's okay, real quick. That beginning, Crystal. That's a very good question. I want to know the answer to that. Where is his phone if he had a phone? Very, very good question.
Setting missing juvenile. 1008 Stafford Court. 100. Stafford Court, Hendersonville. Caller advised this morning they woke up and their 15-year-old male is not in the bed. We are white male, 30 blonde hair, approximately 5 foot, one finger turning down. I was going to be wearing a black sweatshirt and black sweatpants. Juvenile does have a form of autism. This is the first time it happened. I was going to be in the home before midnight. All the doors are locked at this time. Just warming up. Hello, Central. Hello, go ahead. CRL. Sebastian Rogers. He's not clear verbal warning. Got it ahead. Clear verbal. Forty seven Central.
That's funny, Tom. Sorry.
Yes, I see. Juvenile has a phone.
Did she just say, did they just say juvenile does have a phone?
Let's play it back.
Yes, I see. Juvenile has a phone.
Yep. Juvenile
That
has a
is
phone.
That's what it
exactly what
sounded
he
like.
just said.
But now, does that mean that he had it on him? Are we to assume, like, just generic, juvenile has a phone, that it's
Ooh.
on him, or he has a
Right.
phone, but we don't know where it is?
Like, we need to know where that phone is because the juvenile does have a phone.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yes, I see. Juvenile has a phone.
Juvenile has a phone. He said it.
But
So,
Low 12 in chat said that the mom says the phone, didn't the mom say the phone was on the chargers in the kitchen? I don't know. Low 12, you're going to have to call in.
yeah, low 12, we're going to have to get you to call in whenever we open the phone lines up.
I
So
want to
we're
hear from
almost.
everybody tonight. I want everyone to call
Me
in
too.
tonight.
Me
Me
three.
too.
That's your job.
Absolutely.
Every single person has to call in tonight.
Woohoo!
All right. Well,
I
that was a
do.
good catch. That was a very good catch in the 911 call about the
Yeah,
juvenile
that's
didn't have a
good.
phone.
What is
Thank
true?
you. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, let's finish listening to it.
I see. Juvenile has a phone.
Does the juvenile have a
No, he says juvenile has a phone. Listen to it again.
phone?
Well, fiddle. There it goes.
I hate that buffering thing. I think my brain gets stuck on buffering.
Control Q 47-180 412. Juvenile. Left return a call. The mother is driving around looking for him in the Victoria Place subdivision, and she is driving a baby blue Infiniti.
Okay. Well, what do y'all think about that?
Baby blue Infiniti.
That's what the mom drives.
Yeah.
Juvenile has a phone. That's what I think. I think I want to know where the phone is. And if he was going to run away, if he ran away, why wouldn't he take his phone? Because he knows he would need his phone to contact his father.
Exactly.
And his
That's a good.
shoes.
I think he was ambushed by something. I think that thud was actually her recalling her thud on his head.
Whew.
I think he was in
Hollis.
bed. Well, I think he was in bed. I don't think he had his shoes on. I don't think he had his phone on him. And I think it helps her kind of bypass the whole thud factor in her brain. And that's why he has no shoes on, and that's why he doesn't have his phone. He didn't get up to go meet somebody. He would have taken those things as a teenager, especially with sensitivity. This was something that happened in the bed. Just like, remember Letitia Staunch? Latrasha, we called her, with Gannon Staunch in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why she had to buy a new mattress, quote unquote, for their Chris's daughter, who's there, I guess, when he has custody of her. So my thing is, I would love to know if they got her work van and if they could get in there and do some forensics in her work van. I think she was transporting things, and I do not know why they're not checking off the freeway.
Well, if we were the reporters, that's a question, though, I would definitely ask Seth, where he said that Dolly wasn't asking the right questions. I would definitely bring up what you just said.
I agree with Kathy. Someone has to know something and needs to say something now.
Well,
Exactly.
I think the people that know something are these adults.
Kathy with my email again, you guys. Come on.
What is your email, Regina?
Regina _is_queen at yahoo.com. But listen, the definition of my name is Queen. Okay. And the definition of my middle name is Grace. So I'm
Oh,
Queen
does
Grace or Grace of God. So that's
does
what my name
Regina
is.
mean royalty, mean queen? Is that like how it goes? Regal?
Regina, literally, the definition of the word Regina is queen.
I never
Queen
knew
or
that.
queenish. Learn something new every time, don't we?
Every day I still find something new, learn something new.
And my middle name is Anne, which means grace or under the protection of God.
That's my
Did I
middle
hear that?
name. I did. My middle name is the same as yours.
Oh, wow, that is so cool. I never knew that. What is true?
Yep.
So my name literally means queen, with the grace of God.
I'm going to have to look up what my name means because I don't know.
Well,
And I
I
can't
didn't
look
know.
right now because I'm stuck where I am.
Right. All right. But when you get back to where we got so far sidetracked. See what you did, Kathy? Oh, I love Kathy. She's awesome. Oh, that was funny. So back to what we were saying. Where were we? Hollis,
Yes, ma'am.
where were we?
We were watching the video of Seth.
Yes, we just got done listening to the 911 call involving
Oh, the
Seth.
911 call. And I'm sure you played the Nancy Grace video, right?
Oh yeah, we've played that one the other day.
Y'all been through all the
And
videos.
Fox
Oh yeah.
Nashville.
Yep. Like we've tried to do all of them. So I want to ask each of you ladies this question, and you can answer in whatever order you want to about this case. Do you think Katie had something to do with Sebastian's disappearance? And do you think Chris knows? That's what I want to know. Is that why her and Chris split up? Y'all know he's got like he went
Can
single
you
on his YouTube, right?
repeat that question?
Okay. Do y'all think Katie had something to do with Sebastian's disappearance? Katie Proudfoot did. And do y'all think that I'm not Seth, but do y'all think that Chris is helping cover for her? And that's the reason that like maybe something happened and that's why they're split up because I know his Facebook profile says he's single now and she's already back at home. So what do you guys think about that?
So Chris is now saying he's single. Is that what you're saying, Regina?
Yeah, he changed his Facebook thing, I guess, to single.
When did that?
He's fickle.
I thought he's always with her. I thought they're always together.
Yeah, but he brought her back, dropped her off, and went back to work. And then Regina said
Yeah,
he changed.
and now right before we went live, Trev, I think his name is Trev Talks. Isn't that right, Trev Talks or whatever. He just interviewed ex-wife that has the daughter Faith with Chris Proudfoot, and that woman ripped Chris Proudfoot a new booty hole.
Did y'all watch
Yep.
that? Did
No.
y'all watch that also?
Seen that.
I haven't
No.
showed that one. Oh, you guys,
Then
we got a phone call.
Oh, good.
take the call.
Well, hello, Midwest.
We can't
Oh, hold
hear
on a
on
second.
our
I
end.
gotta share. I know I'm fixing to share it. Hold on just a second, Midwest. I forgot to share the screen.
Oh, I
Let me.
love that Midwest is calling in.
I do too.
Wait, no, that's not what I want to share. Okay.
I think the mom did it herself.
There we go, Midwest. They can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Hello, ladies. How are you?
Hey,
Hello.
Midwest.
They said hello, Midwest. Good. How are you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm just calling in. How are you doing, ladies?
Blessed as always.
Okay. There was people in chat wondering if that 911 call was from today or from the beginning when he went missing.
That was from the beginning.
I answered it and I typed it in. It was from the day he went missing.
That was when he went missing, right? At the beginning?
Yes.
Okay. And also, I just want to let you guys know that you're doing a great job.
Oh.
And in my opinion, and this is my opinion, speculatively and allegedly, that I think that the mother had something to do with this.
What do you think she
So
did? Like, do you think her comment about the thud? Do you think that's a telltale?
I really do. I just think this whole case is strange. And all I'm doing is praying that Sebastian is found alive and well.
Me too. I am. I'm
So,
still praying he's found alive.
but I just wanted to call in and let you guys know that you ladies are doing a great job. Wonderful channel. I love being a mod here. And
Oh,
I just wanted to thank you. Just wanted to give
Midwest.
you a call in.
Oh, well, we're grateful for you too, Midwest.
Thank you,
You're
Midwest.
amazing.
She's
We
a
love
great
you,
Crystal said,
mod.
Thank
"Thank
Midwest.
you,
you.
Midwest." Everyone says we love you, Midwest.
We
You're
love
gonna
you
have to.
too.
Whenever you go back on replay, you'll hear everyone talking
That's
to you.
fine. It's not a problem. I'm just praying for Sebastian and hopefully everything works out okay. That is, that's how I feel. I'm just praying that he's alive and well. But I'll let
Absolutely,
you go and let somebody
we
else
all are.
call in. And I love you guys.
Well, thank you for calling in, Midwest. We love you, girl.
Thank
Love
You're
you.
you.
beautiful.
Good night. I'll
Be
get back
Okay,
safe.
to this
honey.
naughty.
Blessings. Thank you, Midwest, for everything you do.
Bye bye, sweetie.
Bye bye.
I'm with Midwest on that, but I don't think I don't think Chris knew about it until after the fact and she called him. I think the mom did this all on her own.
Do you think she confessed in him what she did, and that's why they're separated now? It was the final straw in their marriage. Now, have you seen that interview where they're talking about there was strain in their marriage and stuff? I don't remember who did that interview.
Well, I can tell you if I was in his situation, I would want to separate myself away from her as much as possible if, like Holly's is saying, he confessed to her. Because you've got to be batshit crazy to kill your own child to try to save your marriage.
I
And
agree with that.
Yeah,
But
but do
do
y'all
you think that's
remember
what she was doing? Go ahead,
don't
Hollis.
y'all
I'm sorry.
remember Susan Smith
yeah,
Yep.
drove her vehicle with her two children in the car seats into the lake
And let
because
them
the guy
die.
she was dating
Didn't want
didn't
kids.
want to be involved with a woman who had children, and she had two. So I get the feeling that the way Chris described Seth, that Chris had a lot of. I think Chris was just annoyed by Seth in general, and I think he found it a hindrance to their dating or just to their relationship and whatnot. And I don't know what happened. It might have been an accident. I'm not quite sure. I think if it was an accident, she would have just called 911, but I think she just lost her shit. And I think she did something. I think she did it all on her own. And
you
I think
know,
and you know what? I think she put him in her work van, that work van that's in the driveway, her security job work van with the mattress, because whatever was dirty in that mattress. And I think she drove away and ditched that stuff and came back. And remember, they bought a new mattress, but it was for Faith. Where she dumped him, I don't know, but I bet it's about away from an hour radius from their residence, somewhere in the woods. I think she got rid of her own child. I think he was too much for her to deal with. I think she Susan Smithed him.
Sadly, I don't want to accuse her of that, but I'm starting to think along those same lines with everything happening, and it's horrible because y'all, if she didn't do anything and they didn't do anything and they don't know anything, then they're going through hell. But at the same time, mom's back now. Why ain't she out looking for Sebastian?
Well, the reason it doesn't make sense is because it's not cut and dry, and I can make it make sense if I allegedly look at the mother as the sole unaliver. Because from there, I think she dealt with it on her own, and then she came home and she might have, I don't know what she did, but she called Chris and had Chris call 911.
What's this with mom in that new interview with that Jason Lawrence guy where she's in all these other interviews you've seen her with, she ain't got no makeup on. She's completely plain Jane. She's wearing conservative. And then in this new video, she's got her hair and makeup did up, supposedly after she separated from stepdad. And she's looking like she had the total Shania Twain feel like a woman moment.
Did she have her hair all blonde?
No, she had it all pulled up in a ponytail. She was wearing red lipstick.
Oh, I missed that one.
I was just gonna say I definitely see a difference between her mannerisms and Seth's mannerisms. He was pacing. I've seen that from like all the videos. He paces. He goes from room to room. So he's got like high anxiety, which I totally understand. I would be a mess myself too. But you can
Right.
tell like he's a pacer and she is flat, flat, flat.
I mean, if you take the fact that you should always go with who was the last person to see them alive and
Hmm.
who had to
Hey,
gain the most,
Blondie.
and who might have to gain the most from their demise, both of those questions answer mom to me. I mean, she was the last person to see him alive, and how does she benefit? She gets all of her freedom back to do whatever she wants. She doesn't have to, care for a 15-year-old autistic child anymore that is throwing wrenches into her relationships all the time.
Sammy, you're really quiet. What are you thinking?
Well, honestly, don't think that his being single now on his social media has anything to do with mom saying she did anything, because I got a feeling with his history that he's just good and tired of her and he's ready for a new one. So he's just going to move on. Honestly, that's how I feel about him. As
Woohoo,
far as
girl.
mom goes, something, if she is an alcoholic, if she does have anger issues, and she's trained in MMA fighting, that is a very dangerous combination. So, right now, it looks like Sebastian could have met his fate at the hands of his mother. That's a possibility in my mind. It's the only thing that really makes any sense to me, but that's my opinion.
Oh, get the call.
I agree with you, Sammy.
To accept, press 1.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
All right, how are you?
Doing pretty good. Is that you, beautiful?
It is.
Okay, I couldn't hear whenever I answered the call. There was a lot of background noise.
Yeah, I couldn't find the remote. I still had you on. So I was looking and I was searching for the remote, so I was rustling around.
You're fine.
Going off of what Hollis said about mom had the most to gain because she would be getting rid of him and she would be able to go about her life. One thing that I don't know if Hollis caught in the interview that Dolly had with Seth was that Sebastian was supposed to go live with dad this summer, and dad had already enrolled him in school for the fall. So she was going to be getting rid of him anyway.
Right.
And
So
Regina,
why would that be a motive then? Like she only had a few more months, like what, 2 more months until school got out, and then he'd be going to live with dad permanently.
Right, but here's the whole thing.
She
Does
has a
there have
point.
right? But with that, I also impose the question: does there have to be a motive? Maybe mom was
No,
just
but
tired. Let me say it real quick. What if mom was just frustrated because in her mind Sebastian was ruining her marriage and she's already upset with Sebastian and Sebastian threw a fit, and what if this is not premeditated at all? What if it's just a crime of passion. What
Right.
if
I think that's more likely that she got frustrated and something happened in the heat of the moment, then she got rid of him to appease Chris and have more time with Chris or have a better dating life?
I agree with her.
You know what I mean? And rather than what Hollis had said, and I'm not saying it as a criticism to Hollis, but I don't think it was to get rid of him I don't know that she necessarily intentionally got rid of him to free up her life, because he was going anyway.
Right.
See, I think I agree.
I see
I
what
think
she's saying.
If
Regina,
she
tell
did
her I see
something.
what she's saying. I agree with her.
Hollis
think she
says she
could have
sees what
snapped.
you're saying and she agrees with you, and Crystal's agreeing with you too. She said she thinks she might have snapped, which is, you guys,
And
I'm not
then,
gonna lie, it's what I
and then,
speculate happened, allegedly.
yeah,
Right.
I
That's
agree
why
that
I
she
said
might have
if
snapped.
she did something. I mean, there's always also the possibility that maybe she and Chris didn't want to give that control up to Seth, and they have him hidden somewhere.
Again, I think that's a possibility. That's the one I'm hoping for.
And that's why all of a sudden
that
Dad is more positive.
that's what I'm hoping for. Definitely. That he is hidden, eating popcorn, playing video games, and
You know what
has
I
no
mean?
Am
idea.
I? Right. Look, beautiful, I got a question. Did you not catch it? Seth Rogers, Sebastian's dad himself, had enough suspicion about Katie Proudfoot and Seth Proudfoot that he demanded the proof of life video for that Sunday when they went to dinner.
Right. Prior to him being reported missing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And
what do you think about that? Do you think that really speaks volumes of maybe something that um that Seth is trying to tell us?
I think it's interesting, and I think one of the questions that Dolly wasn't asking that Seth wanted him to ask is who she was with, who they were with at the diner or at dinner, whatever the restaurant was.
That's good. I'd like to
We
hear
don't
what
know
people
who
think.
else is there. We don't
I
know if
thought Seth
I think
answered in the video that the video was of Katie and Sebastian. That's what he said. That it showed him and her.
Katie and Sebastian. I think he said there was somebody else there, but it wasn't Chris. Chris wasn't there, but I felt like he implied somebody else was there.
You feel like he did?
That was my impression, and panel let me know through Regina if I'm misinterpreting that. But that was my interpretation, was that there was somebody else there and it wasn't Chris.
I interpreted it like it was just him and her, but maybe I misinterpreted it. So now I'm just confused, girlfriend.
I know maybe Low 12 can clear it up, because I know that JLR did an interview with the waitress today. And Low 12 watched it. You guys know how I feel about JLR, so I won't watch it. But he was at the restaurant today, apparently.
Can you ask
with
what
the waitress, and I don't know whether he actually saw the video or not, but does Low 12 have any answers to that from that interview?
she hasn't said yet in chat?
I'm looking at the chat.
Can you
I'm
ask
waiting to see too.
Regina? Can you ask
Yeah.
Beautiful Messy Ball the name of the restaurant?
Light Fawn said
Beautiful
supposedly his
Messy
two
Ball.
aunts.
Wasn't the name of the restaurant the Texas Roadhouse?
I don't know, but Light Fawn in chat said supposedly his two aunts and a cousin.
Yes, Hollis.
Oh.
And I'm
It was
assuming she's answering our question.
Right, but that's right. But whenever JRL went and did the interview, the waitress told JRL that it was just Mom and Sebastian alone.
Oh, did
So
she?
Mom lied. Yeah, Mom lied about the aunt and the cousins being there for dinner.
Okay.
Yep.
So Liz W in chat
Okay.
says yes, it was called Texas Roadhouse.
Because I
Thank
didn't
you,
see the
Liz.
interview, so
Yeah, I've missed a lot of the this hubbub over the past
because
24
Low
hours.
12 said, I wonder if Katie had someone at the diner and Sebastian was with that person. Is with that person.
Well, JRL actually called out Katie for lying about the cousins and the aunt having dinner with them.
And they went to a bowling alley after, apparently.
Before dinner, they went to the bowling alley, I thought.
Oh, okay. The Journey to Justice said Texas Roadhouse, and they went to the bowling alley. So
Was the bowling alley?
I don't know if it was before or
Okay,
after.
so yeah, it was after it was. The bowling alley was after. Wasn't it? All I know is it turns out that the aunt come out and made a statement on Facebook and said that they had went shopping with Sebastian and Mom that day.
Okay.
But didn't go to dinner with them. And they had dinner between sometime around 6:00.
The other thing that Dad said that I found really interesting that Dolly wasn't asking the right questions to get to was he said that he had 2 other meetings after he met with the police, and he never got to who those meetings were with. And the only thing that we found out is it wasn't the FBI. And I think he probably got a private investigator. And
I think
that
he
private
talked to the neighbors.
investigator.
I think he talked to the
You think it was
neighbors.
the neighbors?
I do. I don't know why, but I do. I think he either talked to the neighbors or he talked to the aunt and the cousins.
Maybe.
But he might have hired a private investigator. I can't say, but that's my guess. You know what I'm saying? That's
right.
Yeah, that
All
picture.
we can do
Hold
is
on just a second,
speculate.
beautiful. That picture of Katie Proudfoot and Sebastian is not from that night at the Texas Roadhouse. That's an old picture.
Yes.
Just so everybody knows that Light Fawn and the Journey to Justice and everybody. You're right, Light Fawn. That picture was taken way before this. So.
All right,
Hey,
well,
Regina.
let me get off the phone and let
Hollis.
maybe
Hold on, Hollis has a question real quick, beautiful. Yeah, Hollis.
Okay.
The Ugly Duckling made a statement. She just listened to Chris Proudfoot's ex-wife's interview. Oh shoot. Hold on, lost it. And says, wow, so much makes sense now. I wonder what she means by that.
I heard it was amazing.
Well, yeah. Okay, I'll
that
pull it up.
interview was really interesting.
I'll pull it up, but I have to play it.
You know what? Ugly Duckling, just call in.
Yeah, and just stop every now and then and do your comments.
Yeah, Ugly Duckling, if you want to call in, the phone lines are open. Sorry, beautiful. Yeah, we'll have her call in since you're getting off.
I want to know her take on that.
I'd like to. Hopefully.
Absolutely.
What was it, Light Fawn or something like that?
Absolutely.
Maybe she can call in because she seems to know a lot. It would be
Light
nice to hear
Fawn.
from her.
Light Fawn.
All right, let me get off.
I love you, beautiful. Thank you for calling in,
Love
and thank
you
you
guys
for
too.
everything
Talk to
you
you
do.
later.
Bye,
Bye,
beautiful.
Mezzy. Bye, beautiful.
Bye, beautiful. Everybody says. Hey, Light Fawn, if you would be so kind to call in, 870-266-6949. We would love to hear from you since you have seen that interview. Um,
In the meantime, can we hear what Char thinks? She's been
yeah,
too quiet over there, that spicy lady.
you know what though?
She has
Whenever
been.
she's quiet, she's thinking. Be afraid. Be very
Oh, I
afraid.
know. I know. I want to know what's going on in that beautiful brain.
Oh, you're so sweet. I just think that I think I'd like to hear what the next caller has to say. She's the one who saw that interview, and I didn't get to see the whole thing. But I did see and hear from some of the ladies on here that that interview was eye-opening.
I didn't see it, so I'm in the dark. So
Yeah.
I would like it if somebody could tell. The ugly duckling, is she the one that we want to call? Or there's three of them, I think, that seem to know a lot that's going on.
Anybody who wants to call in, you can call in.
870-266-6949. Make those phones ring. Or phone, I guess. I'm still on that phone thing, though.
I love
Yes, ugly duckling, call in. Don't be nervous. We're just a bunch of cackling hens.
Yeah.
I love this picture in the upper
Goes
left.
with your name, the ugly duckling. I
Cluck,
want to.
cluck.
I want to hear what you have to say about the interview because I haven't watched it. So I want to hear what people have to say about it before I watch it.
Me too.
Have you watched the video, the interview? What is true?
No, no. I like to hear other
Ooh.
people's perspectives, too. I'm like you.
Yeah, me too. Because, it wasn't far-fetched when you and I were talking earlier today that this could all be a whole scam for making money and he's
It's a
hidden,
2-hour interview.
he's in the RV park with a neighbor and it's just a big money scam.
Oh, we've got a phone call.
Call from
Journey to Justice.
to accept, press 1.
Video, the interview.
Well, hello.
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 How you doing?
Fine. How are you doing?
Every day's a blessing. Good to hear from you. I couldn't
Okay.
hear your
You
name in
know,
the. There was some feed in with your name. Who are we speaking to?
the Journey to Justice.
Jennifer Justice.
Journey to
Yeah.
Justice.
Journey to
Rachel.
Justice. Okay, I couldn't hardly hear you. Journey to
Ooh.
Justice. Well, welcome to the show. Thank you for calling in, hon. Let's hear what you have to say. What do you want to weigh in on?
Well, I did watch that video of the ex-wife talking,
Uh-huh.
but you need to watch it and do a show about it because that lady had a lot to say, but she was very emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Very.
Right.
Yeah, and he's very controlling, abusive, and he made it very hard for um the divorce.
Uh-huh.
6 years on, 7 years on, still going. She talks about that, and she talks about he snatched her kid, and he brought her back to the county, where he's living now, and he deceived her, and she had to work, and he took the kid. Next minute, he had got a lawyer, snatched her little kid out, Faith, that was, and said you can't see her no more. And the mother was right in on it. It was planned and everything. She goes on like that, and she's very emotional. I gave her a very hard time.
Wait, so
Anyway,
are
it'd
you
be very good for you to do on the show. It'd be something very good and interesting for you to do on the show. So I don't really want to say too much.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll call you right back, caller. I'll call you right back. There's another caller.
Wait, Regina.
Okay. I'll just
Yeah.
make it quick. I just got well, we know he's controlling freak and everything like that. When they first did that video, like in the house and everything, and you know, one would think that you'd have a nice picture holding it so the camera could see, you know, like people do, you know, and hold a picture. There was a toy crane on the table, a toy crane. You know, that belongs to Chris, right? And picture of Sebastian was laying flat on the table. You couldn't even see it, not really. She's not holding the picture. And the picture that was at the back, both of them are covering him. You know what I mean? The missing sign, you know, that Chris said his parents made. That Chris said, you know, oh, we're doing stuff, we're making posters and everything, but yet they are both together covering the poster up. You know,
Wow.
weird. But
hey, Regina.
Another thing.
Yeah,
What
hold
if?
on. Just a second. Wait.
I have a
Hollis
question
wants to
for
ask
her.
a question. Hollis has a question for you. I'm going to repeat it to you.
Okay. He's had. Am I right? This is his 5th wife. He's been married 5 times, so he's been divorced 4. Now, did she say which wife this was and how many kids they had?
Hollis said, now this is wife number 5, so he's been divorced 4 times. Do we know which wife it was in the interview? It was Faith's mom, wasn't it? His daughter's mother?
It's Nina. I think her name's Nina. I think it's Nina. And it's the wife of the ex-wife that had the child, Faith.
Yes.
The little girl.
Yes.
The one, that's the one. That's the one that's got the daughter, Faith. And he's been married 5 times, but I don't hear him talking about any other children. So because he's been married 5 times, I don't think he's got any other children. He only talks about Faith.
That was going to be my next question.
So to me, I'm thinking that's the only child he's got. Oh, and another thing Nina said, he didn't want that child, and he wanted her to have an abortion, and she never did.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then he talks about, because the baby was crying, he threw, he hit the baby, you know, the car seat where the baby was in. He hit that, and then the baby was crying again, and he threw the car seat with the baby in it.
Oh, my God.
What?
And this is all in that interview?
Yeah, all things like that. She goes from the beginning, how she met him on a chat line or something. She met him in a chat group or something like that. She's Mexican, she's native Indian, so she's mixed race, right? Of Mexican and native Indian, I think. Indian? Yeah, Indian, I think. And there was a lot to this custody thing. You got to, you know, listen to it when you can, because it's very, very like opening your eyes. But she was very emotional, and it wasn't a live one; it was a pre-recorded video. So she wasn't live when she was talking; it was pre-recorded.
Very sad.
Yeah, but very interesting. And there was another thing. I won't keep you too long in case there's anybody else calling in. What if, because for sure not for sure, but we haven't had confirmation that anybody see them coming back to the house. Only her word, right? Only her word, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What if Chris was already in the town, and then Sebastian was handed over? He took Sebastian somewhere, and she went home by herself, because there's no proof of life that he was ever in that house, unless the neighbors have some surveillance of him picking out the trash, maybe not coming in, because you could drive in, you drive through the garage, and nobody could see you go in the door. But he might never have made it home if there's no proof of a video. There's none.
Right. I need that. That's what I'm saying. I need, like, there's going to have to be some kind of surveillance. The neighbors had ring cams, apparently. The neighbor, you know what I'm saying? There's going to have to be, if Sebastian was alive, whenever mom was taking him home, there's going to be some kind of footage of him in that car.
Yeah, and if she just drove up and then drove straight into the garage, and nobody, there is she said there's cameras facing the garage, right? Or is it the opposite side? She said the neighbor got cameras facing one side. Or is it she just talking about the lights?
I think it was just the lights. I think it was just the
All right.
light.
No, she said
So the person that's got the camera, so because that's maybe right now that's a rumor because I haven't had no proof of whatsoever. It was the person that lived by the driveway, like opposite across the street. If you know what I mean? Across the street, right? Well, until we see that, because they're making up so many stories and changing the story. Every interview they've done, they've added a little on. They changed their story. Nothing. The truth always stays the same.
Yes, I
A
completely agree.
lie, yeah, and a lie changes all the time. It's just that my opinion is one of them's guilty. One of them's done something because I can't see that this boy that's never done nothing like this before decided just to run off in the middle of the night when he could have run off when it was daylight. Why would he run in the dark? Oh, and another thing about the phone. When I was listening on the phone to the mother about the phone, does he have a phone? Does he have internet and everything? She said the phone goes in the kitchen on the charger. In the kitchen on the charger.
She explains everything, doesn't she? Before the questions are even asked.
Yeah, she had it all planned out. I don't know if that's her routine or she like that normally, whatever. She seems to have got things planned out, but Chris is the one talking and finishing her sentences. I don't know. All I know is that Chris had no patience for him. None. Didn't like him.
I agree with that.
Had no patience
I
for him.
think-
Had no time for him. Had no time for him, and especially, a kid with his hyperness or his needs, and he had no time for that.
Not only
He had
that,
no
but
time.
we haven't even seen actual proof that Chris Proudfoot was in Memphis.
No. And his truck, because it's a new truck, a 2021 or whatever it is, they got GPS thingy on it, tracking on it. I don't think you can get rid of that by yourself unless you know what you're doing.
Right.
So, they can track his whereabouts. Did he move?
Unless he wasn't in his vehicle. We don't
Yeah,
know
unless
who.
his mother picked him up. Unless his mother picks him up, took him anywhere. She's got an old
Well,
car.
his mother, or maybe a girlfriend. Maybe that's why the Proudfoots have separated.
Girlfriend.
Maybe the strains of the long
Yeah.
distance relationship.
Yeah, those girls that he gets on the line with. I'd like to see his phone calls and everything.
or a work buddy that he might have borrowed his truck. I don't think he would have took a work girl, a girl. If he was seeing a girl, I don't think he would have taken her car to Katie. I'm sure, maybe.
No, I think if anybody did him any favors, like a friend or anything, and then realized the son's missing, and he was supposed to be here, but yeah, he borrowed my. I think they would have spoke up by now. They would have spoke up. It's his mother, the wicked mother-in-law, the wicked mother. He runs to his mother for everything.
Great
Well,
caller.
it was a great
Okay.
call in. Thank you for calling. We're getting another call. I'm gonna have to go.
Okay,
Call
then.
back in. Call back in
Yep.
anytime.
Okay, see you later.
Thank
See you back
you.
in chat,
Yes.
everybody.
Yes,
Bye.
see you in chat, lovely. Bye.
Call from
The ugly duckling.
All right.
Well, hello, ugly duckling.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me okay?
We sure can, hun.
Okay, I'm on my way to work and I might lose reception because I'm out in the boonies.
Oh, I understand. Trust me, I live in Arkansas.
So, the lady that was just talking, she told a lot. Let's see, Chris, he hit Nina's, both of the kids. The little girl,
her oldest daughter, she had braces and he popped her in the mouth and split her mouth open.
Oh.
I think if I remember
What?
right, he was cutting her fingernails and she didn't want it done and she yanked her hands back and he got mad and hit her.
Oh my
Um,
God.
when poor Nina, she was just, you can just tell, I believe her 100%. You can't make up that kind of emotion. When she was in the hospital having the baby, he was not there, and he kept calling, and the doctors and nurses finally had to put a stop to it, so they weren't telling him any more information because he was just being so mean, yelling and screaming at everybody.
Oh my goodness.
I can totally see
Yeah,
that.
it was just very eye opening. He didn't want her to have that baby, but yet his family and him did everything they could to take that baby away from her.
That's true.
Oh my
And
goodness.
she goes in and tells, everything that happened with Faith, and it just makes me wonder. I mean, if they can do that, and they said that it seemed like the police and the sheriff and everything, like it was they had them in their back pocket, if that makes sense. Like the family had connections.
I believe that. I believe that. I was just saying earlier today. It seems a whole lot like that family's got connections in that town with the neighbors, where they're at. I mean,
And somebody I saw on the chat it was on, I don't know, is it okay if you know which show it was on, T-Rev. Somebody said in chat, that could be
you mean
why he
Trev
called,
time? Did you
or
mean
Trev
Trev
time.
time?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Trev time.
Yes, I
That's
did.
okay.
Trev time.
Yeah, Trev time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm nervous.
You're fine.
Don't be nervous.
What was I? See, it already left me. Oh, that could be why he called straight to the sheriff's department instead of calling 911 too, because he knew people in the sheriff's department.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Wait, you're right.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're right.
it's a really good interview. I think it was like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and you need to go listen to it. It'll be, I mean, everybody telling you about it is one thing, but listening to it and seeing her heart, she cares more about Sebastian being missing than Chris and Katie.
Wow.
And
Martina,
she even tells about
Yeah, Hollis.
and
ask her if
she
she can
tells
confirm.
about just in December when
Hollis
an issue happened. Yeah. Sorry.
Hollis wants to ask you a question. Go ahead,
Ask
Hollis.
her, can she confirm that Chris was in law enforcement at one time?
Can you confirm that Chris
Who was in
was
law
in law?
enforcement?
Hold on. Okay, can you confirm that Chris was in law enforcement? I thought Seth was in law enforcement.
Is it Seth?
Yeah, I don't know if Chris was, but they're saying that the way she's talking, it makes it sound like the family had connections in high places.
Gotcha.
I have a statement, not a question.
You know what I mean? Money walks and BS talks. So,
Yep. That's true. Okay, so
Why
Crystal,
can't
what did you want to say real quick?
I was just going to say, I wish some of the victims were connected in some of these cases. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, none of the
What is true? Did
victims
you have a question?
are getting. Do you hear me?
Crystal, yeah, I hear you.
I said, no, it wasn't a question. It was a statement. I just wish that victims had connections to law enforcement, because we're seeing all these cases that the victims aren't getting what they deserve, or
Crystal
missing.
said she wishes all these victims were connected. Wait, I don't even know how to even start with that one again. Hold on. Go ahead, Crystal.
Never mind. Everybody else,
I'm
she can hear
sorry.
me on the replay.
Okay, she said you can hear
I
on the
was
replay.
listening.
Tell her
I was
she's
listening too, but I just can't repeat all that.
Well,
tell her
no,
I'm
that is
glad she
okay.
called.
I'm getting to where I know I'm going to lose you, so I'm going to jump off if that's okay. But go, when you get a chance, go watch it. It's a very good interview, and
Absolutely.
it'll make you. I mean, to me, it just was kind of like, It makes me think, what did Chris and Katie do? And Katie had stuff that she did help.
Yeah, she
Uh-oh.
I
disconnected.
Yeah,
think we lost her.
it's to me, it was just very eye opening and answered some questions. So
Yep.
That
Thank
sounds
you for
Wow.
interesting.
calling.
Does
Thank
anybody
you
know how
so
long it
much for
was?
calling, hun.
Yeah, it was almost
yeah,
2.
thank you. Thanks. You guys have a good evening.
Call
You
Thank
back in
you.
also
sometime. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. And
be
don't be so
safe.
Thank
scared.
you.
You're awesome. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. God bless. Bye-bye.
I
Thank
remember
you.
the duckling. I remember her. She always had really good points and very good questions all the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um uh what now, Crystal, say what Hollis did you okay, I'm lost for a second. Hold on. Okay. Now
Did you see that interview, Regina? Did you get to see it?
I saw the first 10 minutes of it.
Gotcha. Is it
I'm gonna
long?
And
Yes.
yes, it's
I'm gonna
2
have to
hours
watch
long.
it, but I'll do it later.
Yes.
I'll do it
Take
later.
Yep, I'm gonna watch
notes.
it later too.
Shar, we never heard your opinion.
On what, hun?
What you think happened?
What
Oh,
you
I
think
think.
might happen with Sebastian?
Oh, I think that they were both involved. I think that the mother did the deed, and he came and yeah. After hearing that interview, it does a lot of that thought makes sense because I think he knows somebody in high places that
Mhm.
he is the one who helped get rid of or put Sebastian somewhere, which was a theory of mine much earlier. But I think that that she was the one who did the big deed. And with that, I want to also say she said that Sebastian took the trash out, but she didn't say what time he took the trash out. So he could have taken the trash out before they went to dinner and before they went to DJ's and bowling. He could have taken the trash out. She's
Right.
You'll see that after you watch that video, there's this Chris has a real dislike for children, even his own. He, it seems from what she was saying, this Nina was saying, that his temper is like a lightning bolt, I think she said one time, which pulls into the disappearance of Sebastian 100%. I pray he's still alive. I pray he's still alive. But I can tell you, you had two hot tempers there. Mother was fed up. She had been drinking, I believe, when she was talking on the phone. They may have had words on the phone. She did her deed, and he came to help her out with it. Because I
Well,
think,
he would have had to have stayed in Memphis for his phone and his vehicle to match up for his alibi in Memphis
yeah, but I don't know that.
until he called 911.
Yeah, I don't know that he was in there. He was in Memphis. I don't know where he was. Nobody's been able to confirm that he was at work, have they?
I
Anybody?
haven't
I
heard
don't know if that
anything.
has been confirmed. I haven't heard any law enforcement confirm
No law
or deny
enforcement.
anything.
Yeah.
All I
As a
heard
matter
was
of
she
fact, I
said,
am so blown away by how law enforcement has not said anything.
anything. Well, remember she said she sat on the phone and spoke with him until he told her to put the dogs up and to go to bed.
Go to bed.
Huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Was that 3 hour and 37 minutes worth of talking?
uh,
while he drove home after he called 911.
Could be.
I got something to add real quick. I think that future wife number 6 should probably proceed with caution.
How about run for the hills?
Yeah, because he's a hothead.
Opposite of Nike slogan, don't do it.
Yeah. He comes with a warning label. Explosive.
I think they both do.
I wonder how Faith feels about him, but she's a minor.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with her anymore.
Did you have somebody to call back? Or was that the number for
She
Ugly
called
Duckling?
in. That was
Okay.
Ugly Duckling. Yeah,
I'm
she
glad
called
she
back.
called in. She had some
Me
both callers
too.
were great. All the callers have been
And
great.
I'm excited for you guys to watch that video.
Oh,
Yep, that's what we're gonna do after we close out the live, you guys. We're gonna go on Discord and we're gonna peep up on this interview. Let me tell you what.
oh yeah. I'm gonna take notes.
And I'm gonna finish eating my nachos. I have nachos somewhere. But
So
go
we're
ahead, Chris.
nowhere closer to knowing where he is at this point than we
No,
were.
no. And I think that I'm just saying, I think it would be a good idea for everyone, and it doesn't matter where you're located, to go on Google Maps, Zillow. You can even go on Zillow and look up the street and then follow it down. And you can look
Good night,
and
Ina.
if you see something, you could possibly be like, send it in. You know, maybe you should check this. Have you checked this area? Because I don't know if there's any searches really going on around the homes, you know, in case he is out there. Just saying, everybody can help. It doesn't, even if you're not there, it doesn't mean you can't help.
Yes, very good point. And beautiful messy ball. How far is Memphis from where they live? 3 hours and 37 minutes from doorstep to doorstep, according to Chris Proudfoot.
Right.
According to Chris.
And where are they now? They're at the RV park.
No, she's home.
Oh, she is at home?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
With,
Yep, and his Facebook profile says single now.
is he at the RV park?
Yeah, I don't know where he is.
No.
He's
And they were married.
probably
What kind of
looking for
person
wife
does
6.
that? That's all I gotta ask. What kind of person does that in the midst of all of this?
Um,
Really?
somebody that's has no conscience, in my opinion, no empathy for others. I mean, even if they didn't do anything, okay? Say
I
they
got
didn't do
one with
anything.
me, Justice. I got one with me, the Journey to Justice girlfriend. You already know I got my clipboard right here. Sorry, it's just
No, I mean, say they are completely innocent and they are grieving in a way that we can't understand, but he's still not being very empathetic to the families, the people that love and care about Sebastian, and even the searchers out there. You know what I mean? Like, show some empathy, join in, help, thank people instead of screaming at everyone, you know? Say,
yep.
hey, thank you for searching your house. Knock on doors. Say to people, hey, will you go check your attic? Will you check your basement? Is there any place in your house that maybe you don't go in? Would you mind checking? There's so much that could be done,
Do you
in my
suppose?
opinion.
I agree with you. Do you suppose there's a chance that somebody in the neighborhood became aware of what was happening in the household and they're hiding him until,
Mm,
well,
I don't
think
think
about
Anything's
it.
so.
possible.
Yeah, if
Anything's
Anything's
they're,
possible.
possible, but
yeah,
Because,
it's
I
like,
don't know.
you know those things you can buy kids? They're like those sticky arms that like are they're like superheroes you throw at the fridge or the wall and they
like,
go down. That's
mhm.
like what I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
is with this case. Like it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and It's become the Chris, Katie, and the other one,
Seth.
show. And it's just not us. I'm just saying, like, their way they act, it's like, come on, please do something. Just, and like I said, Chris could be kind. He could just be kind to people that are searching. God,
Did you
that's
Yeah.
it.
did you see that interview that they did, Chris and Katie, where they were sitting in a very tight area, and Chris seemed to take up the larger portion of that area, and she was kind of off to one side and her leaning her head actually against that whatever type of wall that was.
I think that was in the RV.
Yeah, and her eyes were back and forth quite a bit towards him and then back at the interviewer. I don't recall who that was. It could have been one of the news stations. It could have been Nancy Grace.
I think it was Nancy Grace.
Was it? Yeah. It just caught me as a great intimidation move that it appeared he was doing.
Any more callers? We need more callers.
Actually, you guys, I was thinking about wrapping it up, but I wanted to talk to you all about something real quick before I go. Um, as some of you may know, I received a tip about the Gina Brooks case. And I'm going to be covering that next week along with Sunday, hopefully we'll be covering Robert Brasher's. And then Tuesday I would like to cover the Gina Brooks case, but I'm waiting. This led to the federal agents being called about Gina Brooks. Y'all go look it up. It's a 30-year-old cold case. And hopefully, if everything pans out, that little girl will finally be brought home, and she deserves to be brought home. So we're working on that. We've got that in the works for everybody. And
Regina,
yeah.
before you end the show, will you show the clip of you know which one I'm talking about, the crazy news clip?
What crazy news clip? Oh, you guys, yeah. So y'all know we cover everything true crime here. So, one second. We cover everything true crime.
I'm
And
scared.
sometimes true crime
You should
can be
be.
funny, can be a little funny. Okay? So we want to show something to refresh y'all's palate in true crime that can let everyone remember that true crime isn't always super scary. You know what
Y'all
I'm saying?
always know I'm up for good comedy any day.
Well, it depends which one you're about to show, because one is a nightmare.
It is.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. Just buckle
Okay.
in.
Buckle in for the ride. This the light side to true crime. That's what we're gonna finish up with, you guys. Are y'all ready for this? The light side to true crime.
Why is he so mad? Well, Dearborn, Michigan City Councilman is angry and wants some answers. Why is he so mad? Well, he wants to know why no charges have been filed against a police officer who admits to taking marijuana from suspects and then baking it in some brownies. Well, this all came to a head when the officer and his wife ate the brownies, and then they thought they were overdosing, panicked, and called 911.
I think I'm having an overdose of this girl as my wife.
Okay, you and overdose of what?
Marijuana. But I don't know if it had something in it.
Okay.
Can you please send rescue?
Do you guys have fever or anything?
No, I think we're dying.
Okay, how much?
I know we made it, and I think we're dead. I really do.
Okay, how much did you put in the brownies?
I don't know.
Was it a bag? Brownies.
My wife and I did. Cuba, come here.
Okay,
Cuba.
She's on the living room ground right now.
Is she breathing?
She's barely breathing.
Is she awake?
I think so. Yeah.
Can you look?
Pardon?
Can you look?
I feel her. She's laying right down in front of me. Time is going by really slow. What's the score in the game?
What?
What's the score in the Red Wings game?
I've got no clue. I don't watch the Red Wings.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure this isn't some type of like hallucination that I'm having.
Oh, why? What does the score say?
3-3.
Hey, you got to know about the hockey, I guess. Through all that. Instead of being charged, the police department let the officer resign. His wife wasn't charged either, so there's your outrage factor in all this. And so far, police officials have not commented on the case.
No, there's the
All
funky.
right, here's the story that really got our attention. Floyd.
Oh, yes.
That's
Sorry, you guys had to
hysterical.
cleanse the palate a little bit. So I figured that I thought a little bit on, I thought a good laugh to cleanse our palate with would be nice, you guys. Oh,
I hope you all enjoyed that.
because time is going by really slowly. Oh my
I
gosh.
think the part where he says, I think we're dying.
I
Oh
think
my God.
she's dead on, she's on the living room ground, not the
Yeah.
floor, the ground.
What's the score? I think I'm hallucinating. Oh my
I
God.
just want to make sure I'm not hallucinating.
That's the part that was getting me. What's the score? 3-3. Am I hallucinating?
Oh, I just thought you guys might like to have that to end that note on. So, was there anything else you ladies wanted to add before we leave?
I just want to say thank you for all coming and joining us, all the beautiful mods, the panel. Um, it was a good live. I loved the call-ins. You're all amazing. And remember, share a smile and save a life. Kindness can change the world.
I absolutely agree with that. It can. So, and if you're a cop, don't be stealing people's pot and putting it in brownies and then calling that. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Oh, sorry. That one always gets me, you guys. I'm crying laughing, literally. Okay, I just want to say good night, everybody. Thank you for all your wonderful call-ins, and thank you everyone for being here and joining us. And thank you to all of my wonderful mods and all of the supporters, you guys. We couldn't do it without you. And it is such a blessing to be here with all of y'all. Char, was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think it's a wrap.
All right, beautiful. Good night.
Good night.
Was there anything you wanted to say, Sammy?
No, I think we're good. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too, beautiful. Love you. Was there anything you wanted to add to that? What is true?
Oh, no. No, I didn't realize I was still here. Good night.
Girlfriend.
Good
Good night,
night.
love. Was there anything you wanted to add to that, beautiful Hollis? And I'm so glad you made it. I was worried you weren't going to make it for a minute there, but I see that you did.
No, that's it. I just need to have what is true fix her little Converse shoes for her profile picture. She looks like a bunny
For the
rabbit
bunny
ears.
ears. Yep.
I'm going to be on her until she fixes it.
You have been
I,
hung up on these tennis shoe bunny rabbit ears for
I
2 weeks
am,
now.
I swear. No, just I'm glad everyone was here. I'm glad everyone called in. I love to hear a million opinions. It opens up new doors and new avenues. You never know. These things are so crazy. And other than that, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Night, Hollis. I love you, sister. And with that said, I just want to wish everybody a happy Good Friday. And I hope that you all have a safe and wonderful, blessed Easter weekend. Um, God is good all the time, but sometimes people are not. So be vigilant and lock your doors and your windows. Do your part to keep your family safe and put everything else in God's hands, really. If you see something, say something. And you guys remember the smallest act of kindness can save a life. Um, and with that said, just a smile, just a smile can do it, you guys. Blessings and good night.